know y'all gonna move the goalposts, but it's important that I clear up a lot of the lies that's circulating about consciously. A lot of the lies. And the first one we're gonna start with is that I find it very funny, very, very funny, that y'all be having much more beef with my criticisms than the actual people that I'm criticizing. See if I can do me a screen share. Got a screen share right here. Hey, hold on, let's see. Hold on, I'll do this real fast. This is crazy, man. Hold on. Oh. Hold on, let's see, man. We're gonna get this done real quick. Get this done real quick, man. Let y'all fall into place a little bit, man. I've been being lied on for about 3 days, actually about 2 or 3 weeks, man. One day I'm a Democratic shield that's being paid to push Democratic points. The next day I'm being paid by MAGA to push MAGA speaking points. The next day I'm being paid by Netanyahu to push Israeli propaganda. This all started from one particular lie. I'm trying to pull up some. So I started because of one particular lie. And the individual that started this off, they already came and admitted that it was a lie. So, you know, that's what we'll be getting into. Shout out to Tabitha. I think you funny for blocking me and then making a video. I would have respected it more and felt like you was really trying to have some dialogue, which I can tell you not, right? But this is the video that started the lie.
When I see people complain about Donald Trump and the things that he's doing right now, even though I know that they was making endless amounts of content talking about how Kamala Harris is bad, Kamala Harris is the devil, I start to question if they're getting paid to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because when I see Conscious Lee talk about how Donald Trump or people are not afraid enough of what Donald Trump is doing right now, it makes me question what your end goal is. Because back in last November, we had a layup to not let this dude get into office. And instead, a lot of people like you were pushing this whole Kamala is the devil. When instead we should have saved that critique after the job is done. After we made sure Donald Trump doesn't get into office. And the crazy thing is,
now what's important is that people like this, I did more work during the campaign, traveling the country to encourage individuals that our health care, that criminal justice, that access to education was on the ballot. And now you have individuals spreading lies like this. I'm gonna let the whole video play. And then I'm gonna start showing y'all the receipts that really give it why all this lie. The fact that individual was saying I voted for Jill Stein and told people to vote for Jill Stein is
we been knew what Donald Trump wanted to do. We been knew about Project 2025, and you still chose to demonize Kamala Harris. What sense does that make? What sense does voting third party even make when we know that Jill Stein is going to come in, play devil's advocate, and then dip as soon as she loses? Like, is that not stupid? And I'm not saying that third party voters would have changed the tide of the election.
Do y'all hear this? Like, people that's familiar with my content, familiar with my platform, they was able to hear this off the pat and be like, oh, this dude is lying. But other people didn't fear it, didn't hear it. And really, be honest with you, a lot of y'all already didn't like me. And y'all using these lies to get something off your chest. I would respect it more if you just came off your chest with it instead of trying to use these manufactured narratives to push these false realities.
You know what I mean? But like, you making content demonizing Kamala Harris is going to deter people from wanting to vote from her or wanting to vote at all, even.
Let's just deal with this point real fast. So I made astronomically more videos critiquing and criticizing Donald Trump than I did Kamala Harris. How is it that y'all believe any criticism towards Kamala Harris caused voter apathy, but my astronomical more videos that criticize Donald Trump but somehow doesn't have any outcome on the election? My most viral videos on TikTok uniquely is about Donald Trump and white supremacy. But yet we have this narrative that says that I'm being paid to talk shit about Kamala Harris. Meanwhile, I'm invited to the DNC with journalists, you know what I'm saying, credentials, because I was talking about how much Kamala Harris was better than Donald Trump.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, again, I'm questioning, what is your motives? What are you thinking, bro? What do people like you think?
What's crazy is, right, after this video was made, after that video was made by that same person right there, is what we have after that. Because I was able to point out, now, buddy, you're lying, and you lying to a point that's caused for this narrative to grow legs and to have babies. So now you have individuals going to random YouTube videos, random TikTok videos saying you had the opportunity to vote against Kamala Harris. I mean, to vote for Kamala Harris, but you chose not to. I voted for Kamala Harris. I voted for Kamala Harris by criticizing Kamala Harris. And what it shows is that a lot of y'all believe the same way that MAGA believe. Y'all believe that your politician is always already above criticism because there's something more important, and we disagree. You know what I'm saying? We disagree. But what I find preposterous is that y'all have much more beef with me criticizing Kamala Harris and Democrats than Kamala Harris and Democrats have. And I'm trying to pull up this picture of me at the DNC to really just like, hey, what y'all talking about? Y'all, you don't have to understand my politics, but you don't have to lie about them either. You know what I'm saying? This is a photo of me right here at the DNC, Kufia down, being able to talk about how my grandmother deserves to have access to insulin, how my mother and my sisters and my daughter and my wife should have access to gender reproduction. You know what I'm saying? Gender freedom, you know what I'm saying, or reproductive freedom, while also talking about criminal justice and also talking about the various things that Project 2025 impacted, and why I thought that we should be able to get in front of this threat. That's the reason why I felt comfortable with being there, because I understood that when it comes to politics and politicians, I'm dealing with issues. A lot of y'all have parasocial relationships with the politician that you like. You view them as an extension of yourself. So when you hear criticisms of this politician, you automatically view it as a criticism of yourself. See, the thing is that y'all have smoke for everybody but the folks you're supposed to have smoke for. You have smoke for everybody except for people you should have smoke for. When Joe Biden went to office and he won, he said that he would be a one-term president. He lied about that. Y'all rather fight against Latinos, pro-Palestinian people, Jill Stein, third party. You know what I'm saying? And this, as a matter of fact, this is my boy Kenny right here. You know what I'm saying? Kenny is, some people love Kenny, some people don't love Kenny. Kenny cool with me. You know what I'm saying? Me and Kenny have our disagreements. You feel me? But this is me literally with Kamala Harris' biggest fan at the DNC. What does it mean for people to try to use my saying against me and say you did more research than Mesearch, and you didn't do any research at all? You've manufactured a lie that said that consciously used his position and his influence to discourage people to vote for him, when in actuality, y'all being disingenuous, you feel me, and moving with bad faith. Majority of my audience is black. Majority of my audience is black. 86% of people voted for Kamala Harris. So when y'all say that because I was critical of Kamala Harris when it came to international relations, y'all being disingenuous. Because majority of my audience is black. They listen to what they voted the same way I voted. Majority, you know what I'm saying? So when y'all, well, there wasn't a time for what? In this book called 170 Days, 107 Days, I'm gonna read some things from the book. I'm gonna get to Tabitha video. And actually, before I get to that video, before I get to this article, I want to just, because the person that created and manufactured this, he actually issued me an apology. You feel me? He issued me an apology. He issued 2 apologies at that. You feel me? Let's go to this first one, because right now, a whole bunch of individuals, a whole bunch of people, y'all seen there was a train of traffic and engagement that was coming from the fuck consciously, I hate consciously train. Instead of y'all doing your due diligence and doing the research to be able to figure out what's real and what's fake, y'all just jumped onto it. So when you try to act like you do research and you really don't, it really like, hey man, why you capping and lying to these people like that? Here go the apology. Here go to now the person that made the video that circulated the lies that I showed y'all first. This person right here.
I spread misinformation about consciously saying that he voted third party. I spread misinformation about consciously saying that he voted third party and demonized Kamala Harris, even though that he didn't. And I need to be publicly embarrassed for that. You know what I'm saying? And this is your opportunity to roast the hell out of me. I got a big forehead. I'm 5'6", I'm short. You know what I'm saying? Let them jokes fly. And I'm also going to be posting pictures of myself in this video of me looking crazy. So I roast me, Photoshop that shit, you know, do whatever. Don't do anything that's going to get you banned on here.
This is the individual that specifically right now Tabitha got her information from and that she's repeating. The individual that lied and manufactured what is everybody on TikTok now. I having videos where I'm criticizing Donald Trump for doing a whole bunch of unconstitutional, illegal things. I think it's unethical to say anybody, hey, if you didn't vote the way I wanted you to vote, then you can't say anything about the standard of the Constitution and the way that the law is being upheld and enforced. That's crazy to me, especially when it's off of a lie. So I'm making a video criticizing Donald Trump. That's all I've done really this entire since Donald Trump been in office on my TikTok page. When you had individuals randomly coming to me talking about Kamala Harris, it's like, hey, peep game. A lot of y'all start this Kamala Harris discourse because some pro-Palestinian protesters went to a book tour to protest her. I don't care about that. I don't care about y'all defending the protesters. I don't care about y'all saying she shouldn't be protested. I got more important things to worry about. I think all y'all crazy as hell and really biting into your own criticism. If there's much more important things to focus on, why are you defending somebody at a book tour? If there's more important things for you to focus on, why are you protesting somebody at a book tour? So all this is starting because I said, damn, though I believe it is your right to criticize them for trying to protest Kamala Harris, I believe it's their right to be able to protest and criticize Kamala Harris as well. Here y'all come. Oh, consciously a Kamala Harris hater. What? 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 Why? I'm gonna say I ain't gonna get ahead of myself. I ain't gonna get ahead of myself. I don't get ahead of myself at all. We're gonna get into it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna get ahead of myself. We still got a little bit more to go. Now let's start bringing out these receipts, man, because I seen one person said that I didn't have reputable sources. Right here, what you see is when you type in Biden ceasefire lie, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 sources that come up. This one right here says that Biden staffers admitted what we all knew, that the White House lied. I was told that I was sending these Israeli speaking points because I used a Israeli source, is what I heard a video I said. Former top Biden spot admits Israel sabotaged ceasefire deals and blame U.S. as U.S. blamed Hamas. So you see multiple reports are showing that Israel sabotaged the ceasefire and that they never even tried to advocate for a ceasefire. That's what you're seeing right here. Let's go to another one. The Biden administration's false history on ceasefire negotiations. This comes from the Center of International Policy. The Center of International Policy. All these points is right here showing that both like right now, think about it. We were being told that there was a dialogue happening for a ceasefire. We were told by the Biden administration and by Kamala Harris that they were working tirelessly, feel me, for said ceasefire. Damn, I'm trying to put myself in. There it is right there. We were told he was working tirelessly for a ceasefire. That's what we was being told. We were being told that. We have multiple sources that say that Biden and United States federal government never pressured Israel for a ceasefire. So when people are saying consciously, did you lie and say that Kamala Harris never called for a ceasefire? No, I said that Kamala Harris them lied about that. That's what I said. As a matter of fact, during the election time, I was able to have a conscience in advocating for Kamala Harris because she said she was trying to advocate for a ceasefire and Donald Trump said he was trying to end the war. I thought Donald Trump was a goddamn lie. I'm not believing nothing he said. So I went with Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris said she's trying to get a ceasefire. What these reports are showing is that they never pressured Israel for a ceasefire. And we see right here, we see 1 source, 2 source, 3 source, 4 source, 5 source, 6 source, lying to the nation. Trump orbit slams Biden for taking credit for a ceasefire deal. This is Trump's role in Gaza ceasefire fuels Arab American anger. So when they talk about he talked about research and what consciously did Mesearch over research. I just showed you 5 different sources. I'm not calling Kamala Harris a lie. These sources calling Kamala Harris a lie. And not saying that she didn't say she pushed for a ceasefire. Yes, she said it. I heard it. I heard her say she pushed for a ceasefire. That's the reason why I felt comfortable with saying, yeah, we should vote for her. Not only because she better when it comes to healthcare, she better when it comes to education, she better when it comes to holding police accountable, she better when it comes to real estate. She also want to advocate for a ceasefire. But it's something too. I'm gonna wait till I get to tap at the speaks. What's happened to the video? I don't really get in my education bag because a lot of y'all ignorance is showing, and you know what I mean. We're gonna just let that come through there. But before I get to this video, let's just now get into how y'all have smoke for everybody except for the people y'all supposed to have smoke for. I'm about to go to a excerpt from a NBC article that's talking about Kamala Harris's book. Editor Max, I get a full screen with this one. I feel like I'm messing up. See, bam. In detailing her conversation with him when he dropped out. This is Kamala Harris now. She recalls Biden wanting to wait for days to endorse her so national attention would focus on him for a while. A plan she talked out of because believing it would hurt her ability to lock down the delegates and that she needed for the nomination. When Biden spoke to the nation later that week, so he still took a week. I want to put this in context. Kamala Harris telling him, hey, man, you just dropped out. I need you to endorse me ASAP and really give me the ability to win this election. Joe Biden didn't do that. When Biden spoke to the nation later that week to explain his decision, he writes, it's what she wrote. It was almost 9 minutes into the 11-minute address before he mentioned me. She took similar outrage at Biden's speech at the Democratic National Convention in August. What that part say right there is what it say right here. He spoke for nearly an hour, detailing the accomplishments of our administration, Harris writes. It was a legacy speech for him, not an argument for me. Where's y'all smoke for Joe Biden? So y'all believe that content curators, how much videos they make and what they say in these videos have much more of a determinant outcome on the election than the sitting president? So let me get this straight. If I point out that there were better things that Kamala Harris could have done in the election, I'm being called a demonizer of Kamala Harris, and I didn't give her a chance to win. And I was playing in the middle. I was playing double dutch. But she's able to sign a multi-million-dollar deal where she could talk about what she did wrong and what she could have did better and what she regret. Blows my mind, man. Blows my mind, man. Then let's go to this. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. This right here. This is the regrets that she had. So y'all say, man, she ran a perfect. Y'all say Kamala Harris ran a perfect campaign. Kamala agree with me. She did not run a perfect campaign. That's the reason why she got regrets. It's a bad, y'all so bad in civic engagement. And when it comes to having integrity with politicians, you have a all or nothing mentality where you look at politics like sports games. You see it as you either voting for the Cowboys or rooting for the Cowboys or you rooting against the Cowboys. Politics is not like that at all. And a lot of y'all we made fun of Trumpsters from 2016 to 2020, and now from 24 to, you know what I'm saying, going to 2028, because they believe that Donald Trump should never be criticized. And we made fun of them and saying they were in a cult because they believe their leader is above criticism. The same people, us on this side of the left, that made fun of them for always looking at Trump as their Lord, Savior, Jesus Christ, they always above criticism. We thought that was bad, a bad form of politics. It was a bad mode, a bad model of accountability. Now, all of a sudden, we are leading with the goddamn, I'm talking about some of y'all got pitchforks, leading a witch hunt. Oh, we're going to get consciously. He was lying. And this part right here blows my mind. I ain't gonna speak on too long. Y'all talk shit about my wife, a biracial black woman, while trying to defend a biracial black woman, Kamala Harris, who's married to a white man. I can say the sky's green. Some of y'all like be like, shut up, bitch ass nigga. The sky's blue and your wife ain't black. It's like, how did my wife get into this? Especially in a conversation about a biracial black woman that's married to a white dude. My wife biracial. Y'all trying to make it like I'm an interracial relationship, but you really just saying it as a way to try to chip at the credibility. Because there's no way for me to advocate for black people if my wife don't look like she say she wanted to look. I say that. I say that before I get into the video. You know what I'm saying? This tap at the video. This just something real quick. Something real quick. Some that's important to me, especially when it shows that a lot of y'all are full of that shit they flush down toilets. Most of y'all, especially when it comes to how you are so gullible and repeating a lie in a narrative that was manufactured by somebody that's already apologized for, while claiming that you are the adjudicator of truth and that you do real research. This right here, Harris was overwhelmed by the conversation in Gaza. This comes from USA Today, and they're writing about what's in Kamala Harris's book. It says Harris also details that she and Biden were never on the same page on Gaza. In the book, Biden is a self-described Zionist, while Harris describes the issues as more complicated. Yet she acknowledges that even if Biden were loyal to Israel, it wouldn't change the fact that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu wanted Trump to win the White House. I'm gonna read this again. This is so important because y'all got mad at me and saying if y'all believe that pro-Palestinian people have the ability to dictate an election, then you gotta ask yourself, is Kamala Harris more loyal to showing her allegiance to Israel than she is showing her allegiance to the American people that want her to beat Donald Trump to be able to fight fascism? I'm gonna read the statement again. Yet she acknowledges that even if Biden were loyal to Israel, this is what she's saying in her book, it wouldn't have changed the fact that the Prime Minister Netanyahu wanted Trump to win the White House. So when she's giving these speeches about how Israel always has the right to defend itself and Israel always has the right to exist, and she supports the person, the leader of Israel, don't want her to win. So when y'all trying to chastise all the pro-Palestinian people, think about this part of Kamala Harris's book. Think about that part. Think about the part in her book where she's being critical about how her support, how the support of Joe Biden wouldn't have made a difference because Netanyahu wanted Trump to win. So every time she doubling down on U.S. imperialism, every time she doubling down on U.S. policy, she already knew in the back of her mind it really didn't matter because the Netanyahu, the fascist Netanyahu, yeah, he wanted Trump to win. And even this, y'all telling me consciously, you straddle the fence, you try to play both sides. No, you playing both sides. You have no consistency. You have no heart. You have no ethics and morals. I said, hey, I believe Democrats, nobody's above the law. Nobody above the law here domestically in America, nobody above the law internationally. Hey, the same way that Putin had all them goddamn warrants put out for his arrest by the International Court of Justice, Netanyahu had the same thing. So I think that Netanyahu not above the law and Trump not above the law. I also think this. If I'm advocating to stop fascism and fight fascism in America, I'm gonna oppose fascism in every corner of the world. I don't think that it is, as a matter of fact, double Dutch. Double Dutching is saying you're fighting fascism at home while you're helping fascism abroad in Israel. Fighting the line, threading the line, and playing double Dutch is lying to the American people, saying you working tirelessly off the clock for a ceasefire when Biden staffers come out and said, actually, we never was going for a ceasefire. Israeli officials came out and said, actually, we never was going for a ceasefire. So for anybody to fix their lips and say, well, Conscious Lee's lying on Kamala Harris because she did push for a ceasefire. Yes, I acknowledge she pushed for a ceasefire during the election. That's the reason why I was able to say that she better than him and also felt comfortable going to sleep at night and being able to say, hey, I use my platform for Kamala Harris, even though she's being paid by Israel, even though she's being paid $6 million, $5 million by AIPAC, you know, the Israel, the political PAC that lobbies on behalf of Israel. Yeah, we're going to get into it. We stick with this stuff. Stick with this stuff. So, in the same light, you're able to talk about international relations not mattering and how we got to focus on here first. That is called into question when you're able to try to highlight and sensationalize the way in which Kamala Harris said. I'm not negating that. She did say she was pushing for a ceasefire. She did say that. She did say that. She did say that. I'm not negating that. I want to be clear on that. I'm not negating that she was pushing for a ceasefire. I'm not negating it at all. What I am, you feel me, pulling into question, what I am highlighting is these sources right here. Biden staffers admit that the White House lied about its ceasefire efforts. Former top Biden Spox admits Israel sabotage ceasefire deals. The Biden administration's false history. These are the sources that is being mishandled or misrepresented. I'm not saying she was lying. These reports are saying that she's lying. I'm reporting y'all what the reports are saying. Center of International Policy said that she lied. Truth Out says she lied. Democracy Now says she lied. Middle East Monitor says she lied. I never knew we were so caught up into defending people whether they lied. I didn't never know we were so caught up in defending people's lies. You defending a person lying while calling the person acknowledging they lying a liar. Shit's being regressive. It started being like, what are we doing here? Like, what's really going on? And we start to see what's going on. A bunch of lies, a bunch of clout chasers pushing out misinformation, trying to get some clicks and some views and some engagement. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people in the hood you talk, hey, all money ain't good money. So the fact y'all trying to say I'm getting paid $7,000, which I said I was getting paid by Israel, man, I'm talking about, man, listen, man. Let me make sure I got all my points, man. Make sure I got all my points being hit. All my points being hit. Now, before I play this video, before I play Tabitha video, it blows my mind that she was able to get over 100,000 views on a video that's off straight lies. Like, I respected more if y'all came out and said, I don't think Kamala Harris should ever be criticized. But trying to lie and say all this other shit, come on, man, even this. So y'all think that the white women that voted for Donald Trump overwhelmingly, the reason why they voted for Donald Trump is because niggas like Conscious Lee criticized Kamala Harris on Israel-Palestine. White people make up 71% of the demographic that voted. 71% of the population that voted. 57% of them voted for Donald Trump. Y'all got smoked for me, a person that voted for Kamala Harris, that was critical of Kamala Harris. And because of that, you feel like that was the determining factor. If that was if I had that much power to dictate an election, I swear to God, my mama would have a car. A lot of my homeboys wouldn't be trying to get no bond money either. You feel me? I wouldn't be stressing about paying Freddie Mae and Sally Mae either, because I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid by so many different people. And as a matter of fact, I lied, actually. I want to play one video I feel like this video gonna be able to capture a part of my frustration. Let's see. Yeah, this gonna capture a part of my frustration, and then I'm gonna play the video with old Tab. With old Tab.
When I see people complain about Donald Trump and the things that he's doing right now, even though I know that they was making endless amounts of content talking about how Kamala Harris is bad, Kamala Harris is the devil, I start to question if they're getting paid to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because when I see Conscious Lee talk about how Donald Trump, or people are not afraid enough of what Donald Trump is doing right now, it makes me question what your end goal is. Because back in last November, we had a layup to not let this dude get into office. And instead, a lot of people like you were pushing this whole Kamala is the devil, when instead we should have saved that critique after the job is done.
Mind y'all, I just showed y'all pictures of me being at DNC. Pictures, I'm gonna show you a picture of me being in Houston at the Kamala Harris rally because I was invited to be there. How is it that y'all feel like the work that I did on the internet was such a detriment? Meanwhile, a bunch of different Democrats across the country hit me up all the time, hit me up right now. So much that I was fighting with my leftist friends, literally saying, hey, all this shit genocidal. The state level, the local level, the federal level. The reason why them students was getting their head popped in, but them college students that was protesting at Columbia and at UT and at UCLA, is because they acknowledged that their government, that their school or their city was giving money to Israel. So what I'm pointing at to my leftist friends is that there is no vote in this system that's outside of genocide. All this is structured by imperialism and genocide. The local level, the state level, the federal level is all made possible through genocide. So there's no decision you're finna make that's not gonna be in that. That's how I'm thinking about it. I'm arguing with them saying that, hey, listen, we need to be getting Kamala Harris in office because she's going to be the better person for us to push. Now, Biden already showed us that this idea that we able to push them away after they in office, it don't work. Biden didn't get he didn't go no further left. He didn't take on any more social issues that he wasn't already taking up when we got in office. He didn't change. So I was like, nah, think about it. The reason why they say they're going to do certain issues is to gain our support so they can get in office. Once they in office, it is what it is. So we get them to do what we want them to do before they get in office. Y'all was mad at that. Y'all was mad at that.
Huh? Who can't name one?
So this is the part about my mind. How is it that these people seeing the content about me talking about this, but they didn't? Just listen.
Policy, but you can speak on the whole Project 2025. Huh? Consciously. I know you ain't gonna fucking come talk to me because these ain't my motherfucking words. These, both sides got to come together to make this motherfucker. So you mean to tell me both sides came together to tell you how they structurally try to keep us from fucking getting votes, fucking structurally try to keep us in chains, literally, and you want to tell me if you're going to look my color and you're going to vote with them, shut your ass up.
If you're going to look my color and vote for them, the Confederate flag toting, white supremacist sympathizing, want you to be back on the plantation. He's screaming, going off because I said, if you look like me, you should not be voting for them. The fact that I was fighting against MAGA during the election, and now after the election, I got to fight against Kamala's, it don't make any sense. What it is that y'all don't have integrity when it comes to politics, and you believe that because you're voting for a politician, you can't disagree with them on an issue. Yeah, domestically, I agree with you, Kamala, right here. I disagree with you right here.
You don't fucking read. You don't fucking read. You take your talking points from your paid masters.
Everybody's saying I'm getting paid. The first video said I'm being paid to talk shit about Kamala Harris. This person think I'm getting paid by the DNC and being paid by Democrats to push Democratic speaking points. This is my frustration.
And the last thing.
The Afeni girl. But Consciously is also an insufferable leftist. He just knows how to hide it well, y'all. Because if not insufferable leftist, why insufferable leftist shaped? That man was on the Unfuck America tour. See, y'all, he made sure to do the what I believe.
Even this. Unfuck America made a stop in College Station, Bryan College Station, where I'm born and raised, and few of them on there I knew and was cool with. I showed up in College Station to talk with these dudes and say what's up to them, I'm saying, to a few other people that was there. This idea that I was a part of Unfuck America tour, another lie. Another lie. So at this point, it's like, what are we doing now? Metaphorically, if NBA YoungBoy is on tour and he comes to Houston and he brings Trader Truth out, was Trader Truth a special guest or he's on tour with NBA YoungBoy? These are the lies.
All of the black creators should have done. Acted like he wasn't even there. But he was on the...
This man was riding the coattails of the Democrats so hard. He said,
these is all about Consciously. First video, I'm being paid to talk shit about Kamala Harris. Second video, I'm being paid to talk shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm being paid by Democrats. Second video, third video, I'm an insufferable leftist that was also getting paid by this. This video is like, y'all don't know what to do with me. And it scares me because y'all don't have nuance when it comes to politics. It's really a one size fit all. Look at this video.
The emancipated people will be deported. This man ran a campaign saying that we can be deported too. This man gave false information about foundational Black Americans. He said a lot of false things, but just mighty funny.
So sometimes you can be so frustrated with people that you talk too much and then you expose yourself even further. I think this is wonderful for a Friday afternoon. When will these people...
The Republican agenda is absolutely a structure of our problem. My tweet is not an endorsement of bipartisan politics or the demonic Republican Party.
Understand and learn that they are endorsing MAGA Republican ism, if that's a word or whatever.
It's like the Democratic Party has manipulated identity to the point that you all don't see that it is still a white supremacist institution. Biden and Harris were giving munitions to Israel, which then they gave munitions.
This person making the video at me too.
To the RSF in Sudan, and in which the RSF is facilitating a genocide against the Masalit people in Sudan. And the Democrats also helped arm M23, which is the group that is facilitating the genocide within the Congo. It's almost like I'm wasting my time making this video anyway, because you understand this yourself, right? You understand that Democrats and Republicans both playing black people's faces, right? If you deny it, we got the clip right here, Brody. I believe that the Republicans and the Democrats are always trying to make niggas defended. I believe when you live in a red state or a blue state, they love to lock up and kill niggas at the same rates. When we were talking about George Floyd, they was killed in a blue city, in a blue town. We're talking about, you feel me, Ahmaud Arbery, they was killed in a red city, a red town. This little bipartisan conversation to me, it's not responsive to the black experience. You know, whether you live in the East Coast or the West Coast or the Midwest, niggas being locked up and killed is very consistent. So you trying to play this little bipartisan game with me, you're being intellectually dishonest, my brother. And it's like, this is not the same Jasmine Crocker who said that black people are done picking cotton. It's Latinos' time to do it. Pause and read.
What y'all see is that every turn leads to criticism, which is why I'm never trying to move in a way where I want to be scared of potential criticism, so it's going to stop me from acting. I did an interview with Jasmine Crockett where I told her a lot of my audience has lost faith in the Democratic Party. What do you tell them? I let her give her a speech. That was seen as a pure endorsement of the Democratic Party. I'm a registered independent that believe in the independence of black people politically, socially, economically. I don't think the Democrats or Republicans are invested in independence for black people. That's why I'm an issue for issue, election for election when it comes to who I see fit and what my politics operate. This, and none of y'all understand how I get down. None of y'all understand what's going on. And it shows me that it's just like the complexity of politics, it don't really resonate with y'all. That's the reason why you're able to make an all or nothing criticism in every instance. The similarity that all these people had, even though they're saying different shit, they have an all or nothing mentality. It shows that they have an orientation towards politics that's like a sports team. College football, who you want to win March Madness? Oh, they gonna lose. And that's it. You're not being critical of different issues. We don't get into international politics, but I want to.
This is a disingenuous statement in itself, because black.
These are all the people now. These are all the people that have to deal with. Now let's get into this video from Old Tab, man. I'm talking about everybody want to cash in on the fuck consciously train so much that they willing to push misinformation. So much they willing to push misinformation. This is a 9-minute video. Let's see.
Isn't he the same content creator that always says research over Mesearch? I think that's him. Well, it looks like he chose Mesearch over research.
Oh,
I stopped following.
Hey, this gonna be good. This gonna be good. Full transparency. I haven't watched the video. This is my first time watching the video in live. I was blocked. One of the homies had to come send me the video while I was here. That's why I had to stall a little bit. But now that I had a video, we watching it live. I can already tell it's gonna be funny. We gonna see when she started to unfollow me.
The consciously a year ago, during the campaign after October 7th. And I stopped following him, but then he would still periodically come across my social media pages because I hadn't blocked him. I just unfollowed him. And I saw the switch up that he made once Kamala Harris became the nominee for the Democratic Party.
I'm gonna come back to this video real fast. I actually want to show y'all that I was in a Rolling Stone article because I was one of the content creators that was invited to the first annual State of Union address as a content watch party. And I was anxious. I switched up as soon as Kamala Harris got in there. I switched up. I want to pull up this article. I want to pull up this article. I'm going to put this article up real fast. I'm going to come back to this video. I just want to show the level of disingenuousness and the level of line and cap people putting in. Now, her video is titled that I did Mesearch over research. She linked to this criticism and I don't. Here is an article that's made by Rolling Stone. Influence boosted Biden in 2020. Now some are turning on them. We see this. We see the date. My brother's birthday, November 14th. November 14th, 2023. That's this date right here. Let's keep on scrolling. Keep on scrolling. Because what you're going to see is my face. Damn, Ad, got the way, Ad. Damn. All right, like, damn, out the way. This right here. Influencers who was already concerned about Gaza and already critical of Biden's stance on international relations. You're lying to me. You're lying. Let's go to where my name is at. Let's go to what I say. George Lee, who has 2.4 million followers, is consciously on TikTok, was invited to the State of the Union watch party at the White House. It was a lovely experience. I'm a first-generation college student from a small town in Texas, so the fact that I was able to get invited, it was good. Let's keep on what he's saying. But the invite didn't buy a goodwill guarantee. His support next November. I would imagine I probably would never get invited again, especially with the way I've been so unapologetic with this Palestinian genocide that's happening. Joe Biden is really shooting himself in the foot, Lee tells a Rolling Stone. When we start talking about the lesser of two evils, a lot of my followers, all 3 million of them, are literally asking like, damn, so the lesser of two evils is the one that's supporting genocide? Noted, 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 noted. This is a consistency. The reason why I'm showing you this article right now is because it illustrates the consistency that Consciously has when it comes to his positions and how this claim from this woman right here saying I switched it up when she got in office is false. Like a lot of this video we're going to get into is false.
Right. He started going in. He became, in my opinion, a never Kamala person.
I became, in your opinion, a never Kamala person while I was while I was fighting for just fighting for this as a matter of fact, one more. Let's just do one more so I can show y'all how crazy this shit sound to me. I'm gonna show you a little clip of what I was doing in DNC and on DNC. I helped register, I'm gonna say at least 1,000 voters. You see what I'm saying? 1,000 voters. And listen. This is a video right here. I want to just show y'all real fast, and then I'll get back to Tabitha. These is all receipts that exemplify she lying. Oh, damn. You see I'm Kufia down right now. We live at the DNC convention. Ran into a black man with a Trump shirt on, so I had to ask him specifically about how he feel about what the media is saying about black men specifically supporting Trump. And what you say?
I was saying, like, I just think Kamala is better. I just hate Kamala so much that...
Hate Kamala so much. Don't worry about them.
I hate Kamala so much that I'm supporting Trump by force.
So if I said you hate Kamala more than you hate white supremacists, would that be a false statement?
No.
So you do hate Kamala more than you hate white supremacists?
Yeah.
Why?
I just hate Kamala Harris a lot.
But the white supremacists hate you more than you hate Kamala.
But I fuck with Trump a lot. He give us money like stimulus.
As a black man, you feel no way that the KKK sides with Trump and you side with him too?
No, well, I don't know. I just hate Kamala. Like her BBLs. Trump said she got a bad BBL.
This is I end the video with being like, so hold on. So you do agree that Kamala Harris is better? No, I ain't never say that. I never say that. Let's do one more before I get back to this interesting video that this woman has made. Very interesting video. Now, this is me debating with convicts for Trump.
If a woman chooses to go and have an abortion, yeah, that's all right, isn't it?
Yeah. What do you
No,
I'm debating him about black women's ability to access reproductive care. And what I'm telling him in this video is that black man, if you care about black women, you have to vote for the black woman to make sure that your people in your community, the women specifically, have access to healthcare, specifically when it comes to reproductive justice, reproductive freedom, access to reproductive care. This is what I'm arguing with him about. So I'm baffled that in 2025 October, I'm having people debate with me about, she said I was a basically non-Kamala person in her head, basically. So am I not? Am I not? Or is it something that you just made up? Let me play a little bit of this clip and I'll get back to Tabitha.
If I choose to vote for Trump, isn't that my choice? Am I right? Yeah, nobody's negating it. Oh, yes, you are. You are. Because you arguing it. No, you're not. You're arguing a point. You're not. I don't care about them being Democrats. I don't care.
Black man talking to a black man.
No,
that's what we're talking right now.
No, you're not. No, forget that. Me and you. Listen, I'm only telling you.
I'm talking about. I'm traveling coast to coast, taking away time from my wife and my kids because I'm believing how important this election is. I'm going toe to toe with a man that is double my size because I believe so much what I'm standing on. So the fact y'all trying to play with me and my name and my brand blow my mind, man.
I choose to do something.
Yes,
that's a personal choice of mine. I'm saying to the extreme.
I have a
just like a cat choose to shoot you or shoot me. He had a choice.
I have a question.
I'm only saying.
I understand your point. I understand your point. Ask a question.
Okay.
Do you think your personal choice can be criticized? Can personal choice be criticized?
So can trans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I know what I know because it does. So what I'm asking though,
it don't make it right or wrong.
But when you are just these examples right here to me is just showing like, hey, why you lying on me? Let's get back to this video though. People just, you know what I'm saying? I switched up.
He was using his platform to encourage people to vote for Jill Stein, to vote against the Democrats. And it was then that I blocked consciously, right?
I don't know how she has credibility by making so many confident, bold lies.
And so now consciously is in the spotlight because he's doing what he's doing, right? Still talking shit about Kamala Harris when we got a whole dictatorship. We are all
Tabitha, how can you put so much value on the important urgency of this time while dedicating so many videos or this long video to me? So is lying and criticizing consciously for lies more important than fighting against fascism? On my TikTok, where you got me blocked at, where you made this video as well, you will be pressed to find Kamala Harris criticisms after the election. Y'all are fighting with people about the effectiveness of protesting somebody at a book stop, and I don't give a damn. I think it's her right to be able to talk about what she's talking about and their right to be able to protest her. That's it. I'm not engaged in this. You are, this is so much of a lie that I've been literally fighting with FBA about how we should focus on mass deportation agenda and focus on what Donald Trump is doing right now in office. So you have people lying and saying, well, he's still talking about Kamala. No, I'm not. I made an article being critical about y'all about how y'all saying when she can be criticized. I ain't made no video. I'm talking about this line.
In a fascist society, he's still talking about and disrespecting and denigrating Kamala Harris.
Receipts. For anybody that hate me, for anybody that's gonna repeat this in the comments when you say, where is your receipt for the disrespect and the denigrating of Kamala Harris? Show me the receipts. Criticizing genocide and American imperialism is not disrespect. It's not demonizing.
Consciously, a lot of y'all might know him. And so, yeah, watch these two videos.
So many things, including saying they were working tirelessly to get that ceasefire. So y'all got smoke.
You are college educated. I'm going to give you my sources, and then I want you to cite yours. One second. Al Jazeera said that Kamala called for a ceasefire in July 2024.
Al Jazeera also pointing out that Israel said they never did it. Like, this is, to me, is like, oh boy.
Reuters also said that Kamala called for a ceasefire.
And this is the part right here. I'm not negating that she called for a ceasefire. I'm not negating that she said in any public statement that she called for a ceasefire. I never said that. I'm reporting the 5 sources where she said, or where these multiple things is saying that she never called for it. The Biden administration never called for it. So the fact that I'm having a bunch of pseudo intellectuals call me out for my source, where you're pulling out things that don't even disagree with me, like you're pulling out sources from then the campaign when she was saying she was pushing for a ceasefire. I'm showing you sources after the election that show that she never did. In debate, we call this 2 ships passing in the night. You think you're making a response to me, you're not. It's not a response. Yes, in October 19th, 2024, yes, she was publicly calling for a misfire. Calling for a ceasefire. She was publicly saying that they're working tirelessly for a ceasefire. The evidence that I showed you negates that she was tirelessly working for a ceasefire. Yes, she did say that. The evidence shows that even though she was saying this publicly, probably she wasn't. Like, George Bush, you have to pay for your crimes, bro. You said you was gonna be no child left behind, and I'm dealing with a bunch of people with bad comprehension skills, and I blame the government. I don't even blame these black folks. I think the government let y'all down.
October 19th, 2024. Okay. So now that I've cited my sources, I want you to cite your source that says that Kamala never asked for a ceasefire.
I'm talking about in the video he's supposed to be responding to. I'm not even making straw man argumentation. Is when you start to make arguments to responses or to points that was never made. When you start to make points to arguments that was never made. This right here is textbook straw man argumentation. Textbook.
And I guarantee you will find out that you fell for Israeli propaganda. I guarantee it. You don't get to back out of any of this shit. You use your platform to allow Nazis into office, and people will never forget that. So again,
I'm pushing Israeli speaking points. This gonna go somewhere with this. Wait.
I cited my sources that are peer reviewed. I want you to.
As somebody with a master's degree in adult and higher education, he just showed y'all some news articles. Those news articles are not peer reviewed. Peer reviewed are journals. I don't think he understands what peer review mean. In this video of Tabitha looking like she know what's going on, it just showed that your credibility is in the shitter. You see what I'm saying? You trying to make it like you're supposed to be an educator. Hey, Tabitha, respectfully. If you stand on anything in this 9-minute video, take up a structured debate with me. You can pick whether I speak first to last. You can pick how long the speeches is. But I guarantee you, you're not going to win. You can defend any point that you made in this video. Matter of fact, the video is so poorly structured in the first 2 minutes and 40 seconds. I showed no. By the time we get to 9:30, I will respectfully, of course, I would demolish you in a debate. We can talk about the credibility of sources. We can talk about the timeline of who lied and when they lied. And we can even get into what does it mean to criticize a politician and how y'all believe. See, y'all know that only 2% of American voters in 2024 voted third party. Only 2%. And all of them weren't even Jill Stein voters. So while y'all like to pick and choose and fight with third party voters, they didn't determine the election. And I didn't vote third party. So you see how both of these things are false.
Cite your source. Did it come from Benjamin? I bet you it fucking did.
And then even this, like, so we agree that speaking Israeli speaking points is bad, correct? We agree, right? We also agree that being paid by Israel was bad, correct? I'm not getting paid by Israel, but I know who is. I never speak as Israel speaking point, but I know who is. This right here is a kufiyah. It is seen now as a symbol of resistance for the Palestinian people. And you got to be smoking dope and dog food if you believe that Israel is paying anybody that talks about Palestinian resistance or Palestinian sovereignty or Palestinian freedom. All it's showing me is that y'all are illiterate when it comes to international politics, and you lack the ability to read or write situations when it comes to international politics. We're going to get to it, though. It's a reason why Biden administration was lying about. Israeli news investigation confirms Biden administration did not try to end genocide in Gaza. Trying to end what was happening in Gaza.
I'm tardy to the fucking party, and I'm literally quite disappointed. I just kind of started following the Consciously recently because he was like doing events with Jasmine, and I love Jasmine, and I had.
She shook her head. Ask yourself this question. Do y'all think Jasmine Crockett would platform somebody that was voting third party? Do you think Jasmine Crockett would platform somebody that just deliberately lies on Kamala Harris? Do y'all?
No idea that he used his platform to kind of campaign for Trump. Because if you campaigned against Kamala, you campaigned for Trump. And I had no idea that he did that. I am so fucking disappointed that I'm going to have to block him on all platforms after I make this video, because I really liked him. I did know, like, there was some controversy about the ethnicity of his wife. I didn't give a fuck about that. I don't really care. But I had no idea that he was so anti-Kamala based on the fact that she didn't get the ceasefire for the Palestinian people. And to blame her as the vice president, the blame is just misplaced. She doesn't control foreign policy. And then what really got me, right? I saw a stitch from another creator where they cited some credible peer-reviewed fact-check sources where Kamala called for the ceasefire on more than one occasion. And they told the Consciously, now you show me a credible, peer-reviewed, trustworthy publication that can prove that she did not call for the ceasefire, because I'm showing you how on more than one occasion she did call for that ceasefire. And if you
talking about, I never claimed this. That's what's blowing my mind. You have herd mentality where you got people who claim they're checking their sources and they're not. You're trying to chastise me, claiming check my sources when you're making a claim that I never made. You're telling me to go find sources to back up a point that I never made. Just real, let's just go back to this real fast, because how in the hell? In fact, I'm gonna go back to my sources actually when the video done. When this video done, we're gonna go back to that. I'll let it play for a little more.
That video that I just stitched. He cited an Israeli publication. He cited an Israeli publication to prove his point that Kamala didn't call for the ceasefire in Gaza.
Oh man, look, it's the logic. So our government is saying they're working with that government to get them to give a ceasefire. The government that they said they were talking to and getting to ask for a ceasefire, they did an investigation and showed it never happened. So the way you come at the credibility, y'all, is by saying you're using an Israeli source, therefore it's Israeli propaganda, is not only a argument made in bad faith, it also shows when y'all start talking about peer reviews, your appeal to authority is one that is not even a good appeal. It's not. What?
You trust Israel, the Consciously? You trust their account of the events that's happening on the Gaza Strip? I'm at a loss for words. Hold on. To cite an Israeli source, an Israeli publication, to prove and reinforce
Mondeweez. This article is they were quoting articles from last year. This article came out a few days ago, or it came out this year, I should say. So I get that you feel like the credibility of an Israeli source that's bad. Is a Biden staffer credible enough? Is the Biden staffer credible enough? Or how about this one right here? Former State Department spokesman effectively admitted he and the president repeated lies in negotiation. The former top State Department spokesperson has admitted that the U.S. knew the Israeli government was systemically sabotaging ceasefire negotiations for months, even as he stood on a podium to spread the lie to the press in the public that it was Hamas standing in the way of the deal. So they're admitting that while Kamala Harris and Joe Biden was telling the American public that Hamas was getting in the way of the deal, they're acknowledging that it actually was Israel that was sabotaging the deal. This source is coming from a former top State Department, a spokesperson for this administration. So now she said, so this right here double bind too. So if she doesn't have any power, but she's calling for a ceasefire, she doesn't have any power. That's what y'all saying. But y'all mad at me and saying that she did call for a ceasefire. So to me, the question becomes, if she doesn't have any power like y'all say she does she really have the power like she says she does to push for the ceasefire? I'm just asking a genuine question. I voted for Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? I'm also a private citizen, but you know what I'm saying? I say that for when we get there. But let's keep on reading, though. Let's keep on reading, because reading is good. I think everybody should read. In a report by Israeli outlet Channel 13 published Thursday, former Biden administration official Matthew Miller said that Israel repeatedly and openly killed ceasefire deals when they were nearing a conclusion. In fact, he said that the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu openly admitted to the U.S. that he wanted to continue fighting Gaza for decades. So when you say you're working tirelessly for a ceasefire, who? For who? To who? Because according, not according to Israel, according to a Biden staffer, they lied about the negotiation. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying this. This is what the Biden staffer is saying. So again, when I say I got smoke for everybody you're supposed to have smoke for, it's my example. This is one of my examples right here. I'm going to get back to the examples again about how Joe Biden in Kamala Harris's book, she talks shit to and about Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom, and Barack Obama for ghosting her and or delaying their response. So y'all believe that Conscious Lee's TikTok platform and YouTube platform had more of a bearing on the determination of a election more than Biden did. Hey, Kamala Harris wrote in her book that Biden was wrong for how he did it. I'm gonna get to that after this video. I'm still appalled. And look, as a matter of fact, it's some of y'all that is so much like this video to me is so poorly constructed that some of y'all, I'm cool with that, with the follow, with the block, with you not rocking with me no more. I'm cool with it. Like if that's the way, if something like this was so easily deterred and you've been rocking with me, you wasn't really rocking with me. You really don't rock with me either. You feel me? And education is elevation regardless. I'm an acquired taste. I'm not for everybody. I understand my politics is gonna piss some people off. They my politics, so they're not yours. See what I'm saying? And what it is that y'all believe that content creator is supposed to reflect the way that you believe, and I don't. So as a result, we have 9 minute constructed lies.
Any statements that you have made in reference to the election last November is nothing short of just grasping for straws so that you won't have to admit that you were wrong. And I can't, like, I really feel like this man just pissed on me and told me it was raining by citing an Israeli publication to prove anything about anything that's happening in Palestine. And I'm gonna just go block him now.
I agree with both of these people are my mutuals, and I agree with my sister. Yeah, to avoid taking accountability and admitting that you were wrong, he has now chosen to prop up Israeli propaganda to try.
let's put this in context, y'all. I'm being shitted on and lied on and being exaggerated on because I criticized the way that Kamala Harris was being paid by Israel and pushing Israel speaking points. Y'all are trying to defend Kamala Harris, who I was critical about for pushing Israeli speaking points and being paid by Israel by saying I'm being paid. So let's do some debate shit right here. I concede that being paid by Israel is bad. I concede that being paid by Israel is bad. I concede that pushing Israeli speaking points is bad. She was paid to spill and spew Israeli speaking points. So Tabitha, it sounds like the video you have right here, the criticism that you have for me, they actually better apply for Kamala, and it sounds like you're contradicting yourself in the analysis you're making. If you go back and look at their receipts, what am I criticizing Kamala Harris for? So now Tabitha has pushed so much misinformation, it is now allowed for people to come into my YouTube comments talking about $7,000. $5 million. Kamala Harris was paid $5 million by a government who wanted her to lose. She admitted in her book that Joe Biden being a loyal Zionist didn't matter because Netanyahu wanted Trump to win. Being paid by Israel is bad. I agree. Now let's deal with who actually got paid let's actually deal with who got paid. It wasn't me. It was the person you defending.
To prove that Kamala Harris did not call for a ceasefire. The first time I saw Kamala Harris call for a ceasefire was in March 2024, right? She was making a speech in Selma, Alabama on Bloody Sunday. If y'all know Bloody Sunday, then you know the importance of her making that speech on that day and calling for that ceasefire. There's meaning behind calling for that ceasefire on that day in Selma, Alabama. Yeah, but consciously chose to use Israeli propaganda to try to prove that Kamala Harris did not call for a ceasefire.
You're defending a person who was paid X amount of millions of dollars to push propaganda in Israeli speaking points. And you're saying that she should have not been criticized for that at all. But what she actually did, you're accusing me of, and you're criticizing me for it, but you think that Kamala Harris shouldn't be criticized for it. In this Selma speech, she reiterates the various ways that Israel has the right to defend itself, Israel has the right to exist, and that she has unapologetic support for Israel. All those are Israeli speaking points. Saying free Palestine is not an Israeli speaking point. Saying that Palestine should be free from the sea to the river to the sea is not an Israeli speaking point. Saying that Israel is a part of Americans' imperialist agenda that uses Israeli and the state of Israel as a tool to push American empire is not an Israeli speaking point. The person that you're defending, who should never be criticized, is literally guilty of all the things you are lying about me with. So it proves that you're being disingenuous in this video. It proves that you do find issue with speaking Israeli speaking points. That's the reason why you're coming at me. You do find an issue with being paid by Israel. That's why you're coming at me. The individual that was really speaking that for 107 days, it is a fact that she was spitting a whole bunch of Israeli speaking points. That's the reason why she was paid. Y'all saying I got paid. She was actually paid. We got the receipts.
The speech. And I find it interesting that consciously is using Israeli propaganda Number one, how crazy is it that he's using Israeli propaganda to try to prove a Black woman wrong about calling for a ceasefire when he claims to be standing for Palestinians? You standing for Palestinians unless you have to prove a Black woman wrong, then you choose Israel?
That don't even make sense. It don't make sense. A lot of y'all are so disingenuous when you talk about Palestine. Your ignorance on the topic, it shows when you start trying to beat your chest and be adamant about some shit you don't know you're talking about. A lot of y'all thought y'all had the aha gotcha point. Well, Trump said he want to turn Gaza into a vacation strip. What are y'all saying about that? It's like, that was the plan when Biden was in office. They've been saying this for a long time. You wasn't paying attention. You thought it was something more important. We can't do nothing about that. We got to focus on ourselves. After she done, I'm about to get into that and then be done with this. It's really, after listening to this, it's obvious to me that some of y'all, you know, where I'm from, it's like, man, you had something you want to get off your chest. You using this as an excuse to get the shot for chest. You've been feeling this way. A lot of y'all been hating on consciously. A lot of y'all been not liking consciously. That's the reason why y'all can be like, his wife ain't Black. My wife biracial. You're defending a biracial Black woman, like my wife, who's married to a white man, but you're trying to come at me because you believe my wife is not biracial. This shit is becoming a circular, regressive way of y'all to play cat and mouse for likes and views. I don't want to hear nothing about performative. This right here is performing a particular analysis that is a lie to get engagement. You're trying to increase your social media capital off the back and off at the expense of me on some lies. Let's sit with that. Right now, you feel me? Kyron Lacey was lied on. He was lied on so much that the entire media started to buy onto it. Yeah, I've been lied on much. I can think about. I can get that. Like, damn. If you feel like it's down, you do down. If you don't, and you innocent, and motherfuckers already painted you as being guilty, I definitely know that makes, definitely, man. My condolences go to Kyron Lacey and his family. You feel me? And shit, I think when people lie on individuals and it cause material impacts, then they should be brought to justice. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it P. It's a Black woman. She lying, you know. And if I guess wanted to be petty, you know what I'm saying? I ain't making enough money. If I was getting paid the money they said I was getting paid, I probably have some defamation lawsuits against a lot of y'all. Let's finish what she's saying. Then we're gonna get more into this, you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. But yeah, I find it interesting because of this. It's been widely reported that Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel are paying $7,000 per post to content creators to spread propaganda about Israel. $7,000 per post.
Do y'all see the live?
Here's Bibi and Israeli leaders taking pictures with some of the.
This is how you know she being disingenuous and why I feel like her credibility is crazy to me. But all it is, though, some of y'all blindly believe in people and it really be personality worship, and you don't have ability to be critical with the people personalities you worship. That's the reason why y'all mad at me, because a lot of y'all have a parasocial relationship with Kamala Harris, and you have a way where you kind of worship a personality. So you view a indict to a personality as an indict towards you, and it's not. But listen, though, this picture that she's showing y'all is all of the content curators that was being paid by Israel. See what I'm saying? Right here is when you claim you're doing research and you're doing a surface level kind of, you know what I'm saying, scrape. You make bad arguments like this right here. I'm going to play a video after hers and then really going on and show y'all. I feel like at this point, I've illustrated in more ways than some that these are a lot of half-baked, underdeveloped lies and allegations. And it's really just made to manufacture a whole bunch of engagement. You see what I'm saying? Shit, this video, 11 minutes, you feel me? She made 9 minutes she made about me. She got over 100,000 views. Her RPM about $10, $8, $9. She done made close to 10 bands off of a lie off my name. See what I'm saying? Like, she done made some money off of lying on me. Her mutuals making money off lying on me. Everybody that y'all have on TikTok, how consciously, y'all lying. But all this, that is that y'all see that if you can get people to engage with you, it brings you something. And that's why you're engaging into it. But you know,
Those content creators. Makes you wonder how some content creators who aren't pictured here are making their money. Like I said, I guess when it comes to being paid to post, it really isn't research over Mesearch. Consciously seems to have chosen Mesearch over research. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later.
that's what y'all here for, man. Y'all here for that lie? Like that lie. Let's keep it going, man. Apparently we got time today, you know what I'm saying?
The actual dark money. Right now, I want to have a conversation about dark money. And I mean the actual dark money. Right now, there are pro-Israel content creators that are pocketing upwards of $250,000 a month to push pro-genocidal Israel content. About a week ago, a document leaked that detailed how Bridges Partners, a firm working with the Israeli military, had hired a group of about 14 to 18 influencers to create pro-Israeli content. And those influencers were making anywhere from $6,100 per post to $7,200 a post. Coincidentally, or not, this was all made public around the same time that this happened. We're gonna be referencing this photo a few times. And some of the people in this program are posting upwards of 25 to 30 times a month. And I just think it's like so weird, actually, that the same folks who made such a big deal about Democratic content creators getting paid by Democrats to post anti-fascist, anti-regime content are so silent about the fact that Israel is literally paying people $250,000 per month to protect and support the genocide. One of the people on that list is a peer of mine, a nurse, Miriam, a labor and delivery nurse, who just last week was seen posing next to Netanyahu, the orchestrator of a genocide that is estimated to have killed upwards of potentially 300,000 children. Where the fuck does that fall? How does that make sense? I need us to think critically, because not all propaganda is created equal. And the controlled opposition of it all is just making me really fucking frustrated. I want to have a conversation.
She think I'm being paid by them? I'm being paid by them? Y'all know that I do real work with Palestinians, from education to helping raising money to working with nonprofit organizations here to make sure kids are being fed. I have a relationship with a few people that's in Gaza that I've been able to make, that I was able to make a meaningful relationship with. As a matter of fact, my kufiyah, it come from this woman that I met here in Houston. This kufiyah was made by hand in West Bank. I'm more than insulted by somebody saying I was paid some money by Israel and Netanyahu. Almost not insulted enough because it's funny. It's laughable. Anybody that know me, anybody that know what's going on when it comes to my politics, anybody that know about Israel's politics would know they're not paying nobody like me that money. They're going to give it to one of y'all beloved Democrats, which blows my mind, right? So if you have such an issue with thinking I got paid money from Israel, which I haven't, what your beef at towards Hakeem Jeffries? What your beef at towards Cory Booker? They really getting paid to push Israeli speaking points. But you're going to say, if I criticize them, I shouldn't be criticizing Democrats, huh? So the criticism for pushing Israeli speaking points or getting paid by Israel only matter when you're trying to demonize, delegitimize me. Once I show you that it's false, and I show you that it's your beloved politicians who you have such parasocial relationships with that actually link to your indictment, now you ain't got nothing to say. Do y'all know how much people is buying into this narrative that consciously used his platform to push X, Y, and Z? Let's show. Let's go to it. Do I got another video to show? I got actual video. I'm gonna show you a video that I actually posted during the election time where I'm talking to black men specifically and talking to niggas that usually don't want to vote and usually feel like voting don't matter. You know what I told them? Hey, whether you do politics or not, politics gonna do you. It don't make no sense for you to say as a black person, you don't care about politics, this, that, and the other. And you know, black folks is disproportionately impacted in every instance. This video was posted during the election. Here go receipts.
What if I told you that they was trying to raise the retirement age on your mother? You'd be frustrated about that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one of the things that's on the line. Trying to raise the retirement age, Social Security. You have any sisters?
Yes.
Or brother that have kids?
Yes.
Look at them entitlement programs, child care. We come from that. Those food stamps helped us out. So the other side talking about, we want to cut that, we want to raise the retirement age. My mom is 56. My mom walks with a limp right now. She can't work another 20 years. I take myself out the equation and look at my mother, my grandma. I was sitting at the table, man, there. And my grandmother smiled and said, my prescription drugs at the lowest they ever been. But she smiled. I may not ever have that moment again. But seeing that and hearing that from your grandmother, I said, I know what I'm voting for. My grandma never steered me wrong in my life.
Number one, I like how simple he made politics in this instance. It reminds me of the definition I got in high school. Who gets what, when, where, and how is how we define politics. And do you think your grandma should be able to get affordable insulin? Number two, think about who gets what. Hey, conservatives are proposing a call for over $1.5 trillion to be cut in Social Security. That includes increasing.
In this video, I'm making an analysis about how Kamala Harris is better than Donald Trump when it comes to Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare. I'm talking specifically to black people that always think about their grandmothers and the older black people that's usually so disillusioned when it comes to voting. They don't care about politics. So this was the video, along with other videos that was made to appeal to that part of my audience that usually don't vote. Which is why I was in Chicago, in Houston, in other places, pushing voter registration. Having open conversations about who is going to protect your grandmama and your auntie and them living on HUD and food stamps and Medicaid and Medicare. I'm somebody that was born and raised on Medicaid and Medicare. I would not get to be in the position I'm in without me having those particular social, nets. I was already mindful of how my community would lose said social nets if Donald Trump was elected. Here's a video of me illustrating this.
Retirement age to 69 while cutting disability benefits. Number three, on top of making insulin less affordable for your grandma and them, they also want to take $4.5 trillion over the next 10 years.
I'm pro-Trump, though. I'm pro.
Taking away coverage from millions of people, eroding care for seniors, children, and people with disabilities, taking us back to the days when people could be denied for care, all because they had pre-existing conditions. Number four, 14 years later, these folks is trying to repeal the Affordable Care Act that is interwoven into our...
These folks is the Republicans. I'm referencing Project 2025. It's also important to note that I talked about Project 2025 throughout the election, and I talked about it before it was broken publicly by Taraji P. Henson with BET. I was already talking about it. I was already mindful about it. As a matter of fact, I was called a crazy person because I understood the threats, political, social, economic, impact in all these different industries that Donald Trump had, which is the reason why I'm at the DNC. The reason why I'm literally fighting with my leftist friends. So I got leftist friends. It's like, nigga, you a sellout because you fucking with this genocidal person. Y'all being like, you can't be critical of her. If you're critical of her, that means you voted against her. Meanwhile, the opposition is like, nigga, you fuck all you niggas, but also you get paid by Democrats. So right here we have a lot of people making accusations of paying, and it's all because I'm an independent black man that was born and raised in Texas. Being skeptical of Democrats and Republicans is something that you pick up on at a very early age when you grew up in a small town in Texas. Now I have a big platform, I have the ability to engage with different people. That's what I do. I'm always mindful of what's best for black people and what I think is best for black people. Excuse the hell out of me if I believe that my grandmother should be able to have access to health care and live a healthy life as an old woman, and the women in Palestine deserve to as well. What does that have to do with us? Well, the money that could be used for you to get health care is sent to go blow up Palestinians. Meanwhile, Israeli citizens get free health care. But let's think about this. Our government gives aid to a foreign government that gives their citizen free health care while we fight for health care. During the election, was we not talking about securing health care? Was we? So I'm the bad person for pointing out that our money for health care is being sent as armed defense funds to Israel. I'm bad for that. Education. Were we not talking about access to higher education and student loan debt during the election? Well, Israel gives their citizens free education, meaning they don't have any student loan debt. But our country tells us they don't have the money. You have money to send billions of dollars to a country that doesn't make their citizens pay for education, but you make us pay for education, and our tax dollars is going there. Y'all getting mad at me and saying that I shouldn't bring this up. How is it? So if we're fighting against Project 2025 because you want health care and you agreeing to give billions of dollars of money to them, can y'all not see the trade-off here? Okay, another one. We ain't got time to care about Palestinians. Listen, man, when Mike Brown got assassinated in Ferguson, Missouri, the reason why Dr. Mark Lamont Hill was able to make a paper from Gaza to Ferguson, because he was acknowledging how the people in Palestine, they were talking openly with black folks on Twitter in Ferguson of how to dodge these weapons, because those weapons was paid for by American tax dollars, perfected on Muslims and Arabs in the West Bank and in Gaza, and then sent to Ferguson, Missouri. When I was worrying about how does the police have all this militarized equipment? Because once Israel and countries like Israel is done with their weapons that America pay for, they send them back to us. Okay, we was talking about Cop City. And we're talking about how funding is going into Cop City. We look up. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to take my word for it. Let's put this video down. Let's put this video down. Put this video down right here. Let's see. Cop City, Israel. Those are the two words I'm typing. All right. I'm going to pull this up right here. Because, education is elevation. And what it is that y'all don't know. Some people don't know. And I don't say that as a superiority complex or talking shit. It's like these right here is showing you how the struggles are connected and how within Atlanta, when they talk about Cop City, how that Cop City as protesters is linking it to the Gaza war. Let's read, because I want to make sure people, he just pulling up the articles, he just reading the headlines. The student-led protests at Emory University in Atlanta have distinguished themselves from other occurring across the U.S. in at least one way. Protesters are seeking transparency about the divestment from Israel, but also from a $109 million training city known as Cop City. Emory protesters opposing Israel's war in Gaza, as well as Cop City, have led some local social media to seek and raise doubts about who is behind the protests, and they're merging together. A recent opinion on this showed that anti-war protests are susceptible to being co-opted by activists seeking to prevent the construction of public safety training facility. I go to another article. We see that the people in Atlanta was worried about the funds being taken away from black folks in Atlanta to be given to police officers to train in their city. Also showing, let's look at another one. IDF U.S. cop training. So while Kamala Harris is being paid to, not making this up, not exaggeration. I know y'all get y'all, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say get your panties in a bunch, because I know who I'm talking to. That sound weird. You see what I'm saying? Y'all get disturbed. Y'all are triggered by any time I say anything that's critical of Kamala Harris. But y'all was talking shit about me pushing speaking points. These people right here was worried about Kamala Harris pushing those pro-Israeli speaking points to being paid by Israel. The same way these cops is being trained. U.S. police agencies took intelligence directly from IDF. You gotta take my word for it. I'm showing you these are all the receipts that show you why I was so concerned about what was happening with Palestinians during the election. But a lot of y'all don't understand international relations, and that the United States has an allocated budget, and a part of that budget goes to international relations. If you spending this money in international relations, it's money that can't go to domestic issues. Black people are disproportionately impacted by access to healthcare. Black people are disproportionately impacted by access to higher education. The reason why a lot of Republicans didn't want to do the student loan debt forgiveness is because they acknowledged that Black people would be impacted positively the most, because we the most that had to take out loans. Most of us are first generation college students, and or we don't have the money. So me being focused on how our money that could be going towards student loan forgiveness in America is being given to both Palestinians. To me, it's just like, y'all don't quote Martin Luther King, where he says an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. At the same time saying the injustice over there ain't got nothing to do with me. At the same time acknowledging that, hey, this person has no power. At the same time acknowledging saying they did this. This is my thing right here. Do y'all know that Mike Pence, if he goes to a public event right now, he still be criticized? He's not in office no more. He only was the vice president. You know that Dick Cheney ain't been president since 2007. In 2025, if Dick Cheney, the vice president of George Bush, decides to go anywhere publicly, he's probably going to get protested and criticized. I believe all politicians should be criticized. In Kamala Harris's book, 107 Days, she's critical about how she wished she wouldn't have taken up the unpopular positions of Biden. That's what she said in her book. And she regrets it in the book. So the fact y'all got smoke with me for actually agreeing with what she's saying in the book, it blows my mind. She said in the book, even if Joe Biden proved to be a loyalist, a Zionist, it did not matter because Netanyahu wanted Trump to win. So why is Kamala Harris opting in to taking all this criticism by a government that don't even want her to win? So the videos being critical of Kamala Harris led people to not vote for Kamala Harris. But my videos literally saying fuck Donald Trump didn't lead to people. At this point, I've been blamed for an election being lost. I've been blamed for a Black person being executed. And I've been blamed for saying a Black woman shouldn't be hit with an object. So for y'all to say on one realm, didn't he defend the brick lady and still defended her when they said she lied? Said she lied by, she said she got hit with a brick. She really got hit with a bottle. That's the lie. You feel me? A lot of y'all don't like me because I say a lot of things about trans inclusivity and transness, which blows my mind that you believe that I'll be getting paid by MAGA. When I have all these views towards gender progression, LGBT inclusivity, environmentalism, climate change. MAGA not interact. Matter of fact, MAGA said those things don't exist. So again, you have a lot of people who's claiming to do their research, and you ain't even doing research on a person you're trying to criticize. That plaque behind me, that's an all-American debate plaque from 2014, over 10 years ago. I'm a little rusty. If anybody want to take me up on this, especially when it comes to making these bad claims, I will intellectually wipe the floor with any one of y'all. Any one of y'all. You can pick, we ain't got to worry about nobody yelling at each other and speaking over each other. As somebody that did structures debate, that's a national championship winning debate coach from 2019. In a structured debate, the reason why they're valuable is because you have competing ideas. And these competing ideas, you have research to substantiate the said competing ideas, competing perspectives. In debate, you know what I'm saying? The education is reached when we start to get into the critical thinking, when we start getting into the point of interpretation, when we start getting into the research, those scholarly peer edited sources, you know what I'm saying? We start getting into those. So if Tabitha or any one of her mutuals or FBA or Tariq Nasheed, anybody, I bars none and phase them all. As a matter of fact, I'm itching like a crackhead to show any one of y'all the reason why I'm a Hall of Fame college policy debater. I want to show one of y'all. I want to show one of y'all how I was able to get my students to win a national championship in 2019. You think I'm performative? You think I'm not good at research? Come prove it. Pepsi challenge. Pepsi challenge. The reason why, for people gonna be like, well, debate ain't effective, it don't do nothing. It's a reason why most major universities in this country have debate programs. It's because debate enriches the academic experience. It makes individuals better critical thinkers, better advocates, better speakers, better researchers. Those are some of the net benefits to why debate is good, especially when it comes to being able to clear up confusion. A lot of y'all are saying, well, Conscious Lee said that Kamala Harris never said for a ceasefire. No, I did not say that. That's the reason why I felt justified in being able to say, nah, vote for Kamala Harris. Yeah, she got some views I disagree with, but I think we should vote for Kamala Harris. So, of course, I was upset when it came out that she lied. Let me be clear. I'm not saying that she said that she never did that. I'm saying with these things right here saying. I want to pull them up one more time because I see now that I watched the whole video, I get why y'all come into my comment section saying, well, did you say that Kamala Harris did X, Y, and Z? And it's just like, I'm going to show y'all how I got to the source again. I'm going to just bring it back up and put it on the screen because I'm knowing that it's going to be people maybe coming into the live stream right now. You know what I'm saying? You done seen the viral video from Tabitha. And the crazy part of it is the person that started this lie that Tabitha jumping on the train with came out and admitted they lied. Biden ceasefire lies. That's all you got to type in too. If you want to look for this, type in Biden ceasefire lies, go to news, and you'll be able to see a whole bunch of different sources. So, putting it back up again, make it full screen. Biden staffers admit that the White House lied about ceasefire efforts. I use the Israeli source. I'm pushing Israeli speaking points. This is what that was told. These are multiple sources right here. Multiple sources. I'm showing them to y'all right here. I'm showing them to y'all. One source, two source, three source, four source. At least four sources right there showing that you have Biden staffers as well as Israeli officials saying that the White House lied about getting a ceasefire. Kamala Harris in her book writes about Israel sabotaging the ceasefire. So when she says she's working tirelessly for a ceasefire, in her book, she's acknowledging that that's not necessarily true. So Kamala can acknowledge that it's true, but I can acknowledge it's not true. If I acknowledge it's not true, y'all start to fabricate claims and say that Conscious Lee said she never pushed for a ceasefire. Let's go to a little timeline real fast because I happen to do a little research, you know, especially when people are calling to question my research. Right here, November 15th, 2023, the United States abstained in a UN vote that called for a resolution to urgently end the genocide that's going on. What's also important is that there's a distinction between ceasefires. The Kamala Harris ceasefire she was calling for was a temporary 6-week ceasefire. I was advocating for a complete ceasefire and genocide to be ended. See, y'all see the difference? There you have conditional ceasefires that are temporary, and you have permanent, complete ceasefires. We should not put a 6-week hold and then after 6 weeks go back to blowing up children and kids in churches and movies in tents. So again, you see that a lot of y'all don't even know what you're talking about. People were advocating for a complete ceasefire, and you're talking about a temporary one. The Alabama speech that Tabitha is talking about, not only is Kamala Harris reasserting those pro-Israeli speaking points she accused me of, she's also giving you the conditions of said ceasefire. So y'all not even being real and telling the truth when you say what I was talking about and what Kamala Harris is talking about. Even acknowledging, I never said that Kamala Harris said she didn't call it. Like, I acknowledge that Kamala Harris publicly said that she was working tirelessly for a ceasefire. That is true. It is true. It is a factual truth. It is can be empirically proven that Kamala Harris, in fact, did call for a ceasefire. That is a truth. That is a fact. I'm not negating it. What I'm saying is how the staffers came out after the election and said that the White House lied, that they never were pushing for it. Like, I don't get what's hard to understand about this. If you want put my educational portable skills, my research portable skills on display for the people to see. Which one of y'all gonna feel froggy enough and leap y'all ass into this intellectual ass whooping? I want to smoke with everybody too at this point. If you didn't lie on me, if you lied on me and you lied on me with your chest, come take this ass whooping with your chest out too. Come on, come on, come on. Do not be deliberate. And this goes for a lot of different people. Because a lot of y'all, if you go to my TikTok page right now, I'm gonna put it up. So y'all, I want y'all to see why I got this smoke. I want y'all to see and illustrate the reason why I'm coming the way I'm coming, because so many people is not only lying, the line is literally growing legs. The line is literally having babies with other lies. Now they, you know what I'm saying, they multiplying. You feel me? They are reproducing in a way that is leading to some bullshit. Let's see. Go to my profile. Go to my profile right here. I'm finna pull up my page. Y'all, and let's go to the comment section together. Make myself big. I want y'all to be able to see the comments. I want y'all to be able to see the reason why I'm living the way I'm living. Now, I'm gonna go to the one right here. I'm talking about video be about, what is it at? Let's see. The more I hear about Trump doing shit, the more I feel like, oh, the law don't even matter. The Constitution shit y'all talk about. Why he still talk about Kamala Harris? I'm talking about Donald Trump doing unconstitutional, inhumane shit in this video. Can y'all see the comments? Can y'all see the comments? Voting third party means you help Trump. Voting third party, just like not voting at all. You had a chance for something more than symbolic resistance last November. You opted out. Who did you vote for? Because I seen the video saying you voted third party. Trump and Kamala are going to do the same stuff. Oh, yeah, you had a chance. You said Kamala wasn't it. The necklace so T. Law and Constitution don't matter now. They're talking about, look at all these people. Look out, but Kamala wasn't perfect enough, remember? Look at the lies that people like Tabitha and that dude CJ the chemist they sending is literally lead to this. This is a video where I'm talking about Trump. Don't matter. All the standards and procedures don't matter. But he's doing what he want to do, how he want to do, when he want to do it. And all we can do is just cry, whine. Look, this I'm talking about. I'm talking about. Let's go to a different video. So I want y'all to illustrate. What's the topic you tired of? Unconsciously, MAGA. How much do they pay you? The government is playing your video muted 10 seconds in. Also, it's like I'm talking about I'm making videos that has nothing to do with what y'all talking about. And people are coming to the comment section to push lies in a narrative that has nothing to do with what I said. Here go a video right here. So if Donald Trump gets in the office, he's gonna be able to maybe appoint 3 more Supreme Court justices. He talking about appointing them at 30 years old. That means they're gonna be in the office for 40 years. They already trying to overturn everything. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's recognizing that yes, I should be pressuring Vice President Kamala Harris to get this ceasefire, but I also recognize that she's better than the alternative. So if Donald Trump gets in the office, he's gonna be able to maybe appoint 3 more Supreme Court justices. Talking about the importance of recognizing how if Donald Trump get in the office, he's gonna have the ability to appoint a whole bunch of different Supreme Court justices. And I'm talking about how that is a threat to democracy and a threat to my grandkids, my great-grandkids, because here we are in 2024, 2025. A lot of us are still dealing with the impacts of Reagan's administration 50 years later. So, of course, I'm worried about how Donald Trump's actions in 2024, 2025, 2026 is going to impact my grandkids, you know what I'm saying, lives in 2040, 2045. I literally was telling people, if you don't do politics, politics going to do you. Just do y'all see the amount of lies that I had to deal with? The entire country is. I'm going to show y'all the comment section right here. But you told millions of followers not to vote for Kamala Harris. Do you think this would be happening if Kamala Harris was the president? You really think you help Palestinian people everything? Kamala said everything that's coming to fruition. Kamala told y'all, but y'all were against her. But yeah, Kamala is the real enemy. Congrats to you. You got what you wanted. It's better had helped Kamala get into the office than to hold her accountable. But nope, y'all wanted to attack it. If Donald Trump was better or gave us rats behind, well, then you vote for Kamala. So should you be cool with this? Well, you didn't. I'm talking about look at all these lies. then why were you bashing Harris when she wanted to get this? Obviously, you did not read her 170 book. What? You looking performative? I used to listen what you say, but not now. You were told you were told this would happen by Harris. You steered people away from Stein. Where's Jill now? You keep talking about Harris. She's a private citizen. Y'all, none of these videos about Kamala Harris. I'm talking about keep on. None of these videos about Kamala Harris. And then even this. Let's see. They gonna let me. This is TikTok, y'all. My most popular video.
We gonna vote for who because we love sneakers?
This is connecting with Black America because they love sneakers. They're into sneakers. They love this is a big deal. Certainly in the inner.
He was pushing for MAGA. If he was criticizing the Kamala, then it was vote for Donald Trump. Listen to the words I say about voting for Donald Trump. Tabitha, CJ, all the rest of the libs, all the rest of the Kamala stands. This video for y'all. Swab. Well.
So when you have Trump roll out his sneaker line, they're like, wait a minute, this is cool. He's reaching them on a level that defies and is above politics. The culture always trumps politics. And Trump understands culture like no politician I've ever seen.
Question for you on that point, though.
Yeah.
Will the people that are excited about the sneakers and excited about Donald Trump, will that translate into them going out and voting for Donald Trump?
Well, anybody willing to put $400 down for a pair of sneakers? Yeah, I think that's commitment and love. It's
hope
something.
You're right.
It's something. It's effective.
Number one, we not gonna ignore the way they've criminal. Listen to the points I'm making about voting for Donald Trump. Do you hear a Jill Stein endorsement here? And do you hear a MAGA Donald Trump endorsement here? This video has 10 million views. It was posted during the election time. There is a whole bunch of videos that I have like this. But let's keep on seeing what I said. Lives, diversity, equity, inclusion, plus these shoes is ugly. Number two, outside of Candace Owens and the rest of the Blexit Brigade, who do you think is going to be interested in the Air Fraud ones, the January 6s? They gold, red, white, and blue. No. Number three, ain't no way in hell y'all think the January 6s, the Air Fraud ones, is going to make us forget about how y'all have bastardized the concept of being woke that come from our culture and community. In the same sense, you're talking about how this man is so equipped of understanding culture. Oh, you smoking dope and dog food. Number four, Fox News was engaging in textbook pathological race hustling. You see what I'm saying? And race baiting, talking about some black people gonna vote for us because they love sneakers. If you're willing to pay $400 for the sneakers, of course you're a vote for them. Who gonna tell them? Number five, do y'all really believe after y'all chastise my community for supporting how this video got 10 million views? I'm gonna show y'all. 11 million views on this video. We gonna vote for who because we
on that point.
Who do you think is gonna be interested in the Air Fraud culture? Oh, you smoking dope and dog food. Number four, Fox News was engaging in textbook pathological race hustling. You see what I'm saying? And race baiting, talking about some black people gonna vote for us because they love sneakers. If you're willing to pay $400 for the sneakers, of course you're a vote for them. Who gonna tell them? Number five, do y'all really believe after y'all chastise my community for supporting criminals that we gonna support this criminal right here? Hell nah. Number six, we standing with the watermelon state, not the apartheid. We standing with the watermelon state, not the apartheid state. We standing with the watermelon state. The watermelon is a symbol of resistance for the Palestinians. The apartheid state is Israel. I switched up. Man, come on, man. State. We know where you stand at. You know what we talking about right now? That you out your goddamn mind if you believe them ugly ass sneakers will make us just forget who you really be cheeking up with. Number seven, I still ain't forgot when he said that there are fine people on both sides and the other side was some tiki torch carrying maniacs. I still ain't forgot that. And them ugly sneakers, they ain't helping no better. I'm talking about like, why? What I do to y'all for y'all to lie on me? Let's see another one, man. This one got 6.4 million views. This is Donald Trump talking about black people voting for him. Let's see what I said.
Would you rather have the black president or the white president who got 1.7 billion off the price? I think they want the white guy right now.
Yeah, he said that.
My question to y'all is, so how is it that y'all believe videos being critical of Kamala Harris led to people not voting for Kamala Harris, but the video of me saying straight up, do not vote for Donald Trump didn't lead to nobody not voting for Donald Trump? So people listened to me and made conclusions that I didn't tell them to make. And they didn't. As a matter of fact, let's go find this clip. This one of the comments right here that I seen that actually, hold on, I'm gonna play this video for you.
I think they want the white guy right now.
Yeah, he said that.
What's crazy is any other time the opposition mention race, you being a race hustler, why you bringing race in and everything? Why? I called them opposition. Why you making yourself out to be a victim? But when he bring up race, all of a sudden they think about it as being truth evoking. No such thing as systemic racism, but there is a such thing as black jobs. I know Trump and his team is mad because they spend so much money in campaigning talking about how old Joe is. Now, every single thing they said about Joe applies more to Trump. And now they got to come up with some 1955 type misogyny racism to be able to say anything to Kamala Harris. As a matter no. I said what, y'all? I said what? That's what applies more to Trump. And now they got to come up with some 1955 type misogyny racism to be able to say anything to Kamala Harris. As a matter of fact, much money in campaigning talking about how old Joe is. Now, every single thing they said about Joe applies more to Trump. And now they got to come up with some 1955 type misogyny racism to be able to say anything to Kamala Harris. As a matter of fact, he was talking a lot of noise when it was time to debate, but now all of a sudden he seems to be backpedaling. It sounds like conservative contradictions is striking again. And that's on being a race hustler, even though racism doesn't exist, even though it does when they say it do. Education is elevation.
I think they want the white.
But like, can y'all see why I'm frustrated with the lies? Do we see it? Let's see, man. Just I'm talking about comments still coming in right now. I'm trying to go to other. Let's see. Trying to find this one comment, man. Trying to find this one comment of this person literally saying, I was going to vote third party, but because of you, I voted for Kamala Harris. It's like, I can't even find it right now, man. But all this hoopla and contradictions. We have more important things to focus on, and we should not be focused on Kamala Harris. But let me make up some lies that consciously said about Kamala Harris so I cannot focus on the more important thing, opposing Trump, and I can defend this politician that I think somebody said something they didn't say. We made fun of Trumpsters, saying that y'all don't understand politics. Y'all think that because you vote for somebody, you can't criticize them. And then look at the left right now. Look at the left right now. I was debating. Shout out to my homegirl, Imani B, man. Shout out to Imani. I was debating about the ineffectiveness of third parties. And she actually came on there and told me there are certain ways they should teach to vote third party. And, you know, even after she said that, I didn't tell people to vote third party. I just said, sis, you gave me something I ain't never thought about. I guess it's strategic if you don't vote. If you're not in a swing state and you vote, you know what I'm saying, third party, I guess I can see what you're saying, but I'm not telling people to do that. I live in Texas. Texas is a purple state. I think Texas could go blue. I think that everybody in Texas should vote, you know what I'm saying, for Kamala Harris and vote for the other people that's trying to oppose everything that Donald Trump is doing. You see what I'm saying? So the fact that now we have this going on is just blow my mind. Blow my mind. Oh, damn. And then even this. Hold on, I got one more thing. I had one more part from the book that I wanted to pull up, actually. Hold on. Oh, yeah. This is my part right here. I say y'all got beef for everybody except for who y'all supposed to have beef from. This comes from Kamala Harris' book. Y'all read it with me. Make myself smile so we can see what I'm reading. See what I'm reading right here. Just dishing out to the Democrats. Y'all get mad. Consciously, he criticized Democrats, this, that, and the other. Let's read what it say. It's unusual for candidates who may run again to call out members of their own party in memoirs. But Harris does just that in this book. Drawing on her contemporaneous notes to detail her responses she got from fellow Democrats when she asked for their endorsements the day Biden dropped. Y'all mad at me for the way I've endorsed Kamala Harris as a content curator with about 6 million people altogether. In some cases, like those Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, James Clyburn, get this part right here. Former President Biden, Representative Nancy Pelosi of California, and former House Speaker, California Governor Gavin Newsom were among those who ghosted, according to Harris. Y'all ain't got no smoke for them. You rather make up some shit about content curators, acting like they got power to really determine the conclusion of the election more than former President Barack Obama, more than Leader of the House Nancy Pelosi, Representative Nancy Pelosi, more than former Speaker of the House Gavin Newsom. Let's say what he say. She said that from her descriptions in the book, Barack Obama said this: saddle up. Joe did what I hoped he would do, but you have to earn it. Michelle and I are supportive, but not going to point a finger on the scale right now. Let Joe have a moment. Think through timing. So at the time where the United States general public still don't know who Kamala Harris is, and still acknowledging that that Donald Trump is more popular in the polls, Barack Obama said, let Joe have his moment. And you have to earn it. Y'all get mad at me for criticizing Barack Obama because I'm a crazy leftist, which I'll say. But when Kamala Harris criticized Barack Obama, y'all got crickets. Kamala Harris criticizing Barack Obama, saying what he did had an influence on the outcome of the election. Y'all rather insulate Barack Obama, though. Barack Obama also got AIPAC money. Barack Obama was also pushing Israeli speaking points. So people like Tabitha that's trying to make up shit and say consciously is speaking pro-Israeli points and getting paid by Israel. Meanwhile, you are defending people that actually speak pro-Israeli points and actually get paid by Israel. Barack Obama got paid millions of dollars from AIPAC. In all of his elections, and probably as a senator too. Nancy Pelosi also gets paid from the AIPAC, also spits AIPAC speaking points. So I'm curious, Tabitha, when me and you had a debate, if you ain't scared, I'm gonna ask you a question. I want you to prepare for this, because you know, in debate, we say that preparedness is key. In order for us to have a real education debate, we got to have predictability, and we got to have, you know what I'm saying, well, we had prep time. So I'm giving you prep right now. I'm gonna ask you the question. Why are you able to acknowledge that pushing pro-Israeli speaking points and being paid by Israel is bad when you think I'm doing it, but you don't have no smoke for Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, Cory Booker, Hakeem Jeffries for actually pushing pro-Israeli points and actually being paid by Israel? Nancy Pelosi, I'm so sad about Joe. It's a tragic. My heart is broken, but now it's you. It's important there's a process. A lot of my people got mad at me because I pointed out that a lot of old school Democrats were disoriented because there wasn't a primary election. They felt like they had no choice of picking the primary candidate for the Democrats. I pointed out that Zoran Mondami and Omar Fateh, you know what I'm saying, that these two individuals, they were elected by the people and they seen as democratic socialists, and they are being critical and not taking AIPAC money and saying free Palestine. People got mad at me for saying, hey, these people was actually elected by the people. She was elected by the delegates. I was told a whole bunch of, well, technically the people did choose her because people chose delegates. I voted for Kamala Harris. I'm acknowledging that other people in this party had a beef because they felt like the democratic process was taken away from them. Nancy Pelosi saying it right here. My heart is broken. Now it's you. It's important there is a process. We have a great bench. We should have some kind of primary, not an anointment. That's what Nancy Pelosi said. Y'all not fighting with Nancy Pelosi. Y'all fighting with Latinos. Y'all fighting with pro-Palestinian voters. Y'all fighting with Jill Stein. How many white women listen to Nancy Pelosi? How many white women listen to Conscious Lee? The Harris Walls campaign spent a significant amount of money on the ad to white women, telling them, shh, nobody has to know who you voted for. Y'all ain't got no smoke for them. Nancy Pelosi could have had some influence on those white women. Nancy Pelosi said it's important there's a process. We got a great bench. We got a great bench. We should have some kind of primary, not an anointment. That's what Nancy Pelosi said. So y'all think Nancy Pelosi has, no. Y'all think I have more of an impact on the outcome on the election than Nancy Pelosi? I don't even know who J.B. Pritzker is. Oh, as governor of Illinois, I'm a convention host. I can't commit. Now, Pritzker endorsed a day later, but he said he can't commit. Gavin Newsom, hiking, will call back. He never did. Newsom did endorse hours later, which isn't noted in the memoir. So she can have a criticism for what she could have did better in her what she could have did better during the campaign. She can also call out Democrats that either ghosted her or stalled on her and given her support. She can acknowledge that there were some unpopular positions that made it where Joe Biden had to drop out. And because she wanted to show her loyalty to Joe Biden, she didn't want to distance herself from that. In her book, she said that she wished she would have did different. Am I bad for pointing that out? That's what y'all gonna say. Y'all gonna say I'm criticizing and demonizing a black woman for agreeing with her on what she could have done better in the election. A lot of y'all in y'all mind had it made up that because she only had 7 days, she ran the best election that she could have run. According to her, there was a lot of regrets and mishaps. Y'all gonna be mad at me for pointing out what was in that book? I'm talking about like even this person right here, I'm finally seeing the comments now finally coming in. Let's focus on criticism. You, brother. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. You placing words in folks' mouth. Stay focused on type of criticism, you, bro. Hey, I think that Tabitha Speaks politics at this point, this narrative has grown way further than Tabitha Speaks. I want to be clear. My beef, my energy, my smoke is not only towards her and not because of her. She jumping on a train that already started taking off on a lie. As a matter of fact, let me play again the context of how this all started and how the individual that started this already made a video apologizing for lying on me. After he made the video, why is Conscious Lee saying all this stuff about just for him to be like, I was misinformed, y'all. I lied. The crazy part about it is the lie never gets as much circulation. I mean, the truth never gets circulation as the lie. But, you learn that on telephone game. I'm trying to find the video. I was misinformed. Why is Conscious Lee still talking? I'm finding the video. So I'm talking about the person that started this narrative, the one that y'all saying you need to focus on Kamala, like focus on Tabitha. Like, nah, this bigger than Tabitha. The person that started this narrative, this individual right here. I spread misinformation about Conscious Lee. That's what it say on the video. Because that's what he did. He spread misinformation. And now y'all going and repeating the information. That's what Tabitha did.
I need to apologize to Conscious Lee because in the video I made about him, I was supposed to talk about Afeni as well. And that's why I mentioned demonizing Kamala and third-party voting. And I have a platform of 10,000 followers, and I'm really new to this shit. I've only been posting on here for 3 months, which is no excuse at all. I'm smarter than this, and my decision-making skills are better than this. And I just got caught up in the posting content, you know what I'm saying? And not looking back at it and just going on about my day. And I can't do that shit no more, especially if I want to make a video like this. You know what I mean? Because it was really bad timing, because apparently there's a lot of folks that are pissed off at him for some sort of flag in a music video or some shit. And I don't know, it seems like some bullshit to me. It's just people want to be upset for no reason. And the only time I went back to this video was because I kept seeing a whole bunch of comments saying that he's not pro-black because he has like a non-black wife or some shit. I don't know if she's non-black, but that the only time I went back to that video was to check people and tell them how stupid that is. And like what I did can't be undone. The chances of the same amount of people seeing this video and the same people from that video seeing this video are extremely low. And I'm hoping that this shit goes up. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to take accountability. I need to be held accountable. I need to be publicly embarrassed for that. And there's nothing I can.
What Tabitha's saying in her video is repeating the lie that he started. He's apologizing for spreading misinformation about conscious leap. Because this person made this lie. In this live stream, I've showed y'all several of comments in multiple different posts where people are taking the lie that he said. That's probably why Tabitha felt like it was ironclad, because so many people was pushing it. So the learning lesson in this is that some of us need to have a good discernment, and you believe that numbers equals legitimacy. A lot of people to this day right now believe everything that this person said in their video because of how much engagement, how many likes, how many comments, how many reshares that video has. Because that video was circulated so much, it's now made it where individuals really believe in that narrative. You seen the person in the video, Tabitha showed. Oh, I had to unfollow consciously. I didn't know this about him because it's false. When he said in this video, the damage is already done, we passed what Tabitha said. We passed him lying. Right now, we just getting into the various ways that I think that media literacy whooping y'all ass, and it showed that y'all will jump on a train, a hate train, as long as it benefits you. Even if the individual is receiving hate that is literally unprecedented. It's gratuitous, it's unwarranted. This is what y'all going at. This person is admitting they lied.
Damage that I did to consciously, right? But that's not gonna stop me. It's not gonna stop me.
Shout out to you.
So as a way for consciously to get even with me, I'm
just talking about this is what started the lie. You feel me? Really, nothing Tabitha said in her video was an original thought. It was a regurgitation of lies that she seen was getting traction. And because she seen it was getting traction, it was an easy train for her to jump on. I'm a content creator too. I know what she's doing. I get it. You see what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, everybody do me like this all the time. The logic is, if I can piss Conscious Lee off and talk some shit with him, he's going to get all of his followers to come to my page and see what I said about him. It's a game that leads to engagement and some people get paid, but it's a dirty game though. It's a dirty game. Like I'm talking about, y'all already moving the goalposts. Think about it. Right now, during this live stream and after this live stream, it's going to be people coming to repeat the shit that Tabitha said. Repeat the shit that dude CJ said. Repeat the shit they've seen in comments. Seen the shit they're going to repeat that. They're not going to see this live. They don't know who I am. A lot of y'all have snapshot understandings of who y'all think I am. And as a result, y'all start to circulate lies, or y'all start to jump to these snapshot, you know what I'm saying, who y'all think. No. And the thing about it is, I would not be held captive to some perspective that y'all have of me based off of a few videos y'all seen. We disagree. That is okay for us to disagree, but don't lie. If you're wondering what's going on, what happened, Bryce, what happened, Bryce Ellis is that. What's what happened, man. Somebody started a lie and said that I voted third party and that I told my followers to vote for Jill Stein. Somebody started a lie and said that I was demonizing Kamala and that I was a never Kamala person. In this live stream, I've showed multiple ways that how I was never what they claiming. From being a journalist at the DNC, covering about gender affirming care, covering about reproductive justice, covering about education, covering about real estate, covering about the police, covering about Project 2025, from being able to register voters from the East Coast to the West Coast to the South, to being invited to Kamala Harris's stand here in Houston. All because I believed her, actually. I believed that's what she said. Well, not fully, but I wanted to be like, you know what? My skepticism of you may be lying or getting away, I think that you are the better option because this man right here trying to take me back to the plantation. I don't want to go to the plantation. I would much rather be rallying against Kamala Harris as the president, commander-in-chief, trying to get her to give a ceasefire, trying to get her to do this, than Donald Trump. Matter of fact, I have no relationship with Donald Trump and nobody over there. It's more likely for people on this side of the aisle to listen to Consciously, and obviously I already follow Consciously. So to me, it blows my mind that y'all are figuring out ways to lie on me about what I did with the Kamala Harris campaign specifically, and I was literally working on the campaign. You feel me? To the point where I'm literally in real time fighting against my leftist homeboys and partners and homegirls because they believe that I shouldn't vote at all because a vote is a vote for genocide. I'm literally having a conversation with them about American imperialism and about how all levels of the government is made actual by genocide. Y'all got mad at me too, is because I pointed out that a lot of y'all that's now finally opening y'all eyes to the veil of genocide, open y'all eyes to how people are being punished for not having freedom of speech, how that already was happening. I have a kufiya on right now because I want to really keep in mind of all of the good people that lost their job for using freedom of speech while Biden was in office. A lot of y'all didn't start paying attention to suppression of speech until that white man, Jimmy Kimmel, got kicked off for something he said. I got former professors, mentors that all lost their job for freedom of speech, which is fascism, while Biden was in office. So y'all saying, well, Consciously lying because he said that Kamala Harris was a fascist in the silk press. No, I did not say that. I said that Kamala Harris is acting like George Bush with a silk press. Well, why you say that? Well, during DNC, I do a lot of campaign work. I do a lot of policy advocacy work. I do a lot of work specifically with climate change and global warming type organizations, nonprofits. During this time, the Biden-Harris administration had passed a very a very instrumental policy that lead to America being the leader when it comes to reducing CO2 emissions by like 2030. The Biden-Harris administration championed climate change, fighting against it. During the DNC, Kamala Harris said she was going to drill, baby, drill. Y'all are mad at me for pointing out, hey, now hold on. Y'all was just running a campaign, getting nonprofits to champion a way in which you talk about climate change and CO2 emissions and global warming and being able to be the leader of that. Now you are saying in your campaign, you're going to drill, baby, drill. Donald Trump was a war maniac. I agree. And Kamala Harris said he a war maniac. I agree. So I was baffled when Kamala Harris said, I want to have the most lethal military in the world, at the same time talking about how people like Dick Cheney and, the Ronald Reagan administration was saying she cool. And then even this right here. Hey, Citizen Morgan, respectfully, you have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea what you are talking about. And you are very similar to a lot of people that disingenuously talk about Gaza and genocide and don't know what you're talking about. It didn't start off as a genocide according to whom? Not according to the Palestinians that was wiped out or got pushed out of their home. Are you familiar with the Palestinian Mandate? I would like to ask y'all, do y'all think that do y'all think that white British people have the jurisdiction to carry out the divinity of God? The Palestinian Mandate was the Balfour Declaration was made by this white man by the name of Arthur Balfour. He was a part of the British government. He the one that wrote Rothschild to say that we should have an Israel. There was a point in which they turned into a genocide. Yes, it turned into a genocide whenever they said Balfour Declaration and whenever they said that Palestinians are inherent terrorists. Whenever they said that Palestinians didn't have the right to exist, it didn't have the right to defend itself, that's when it started. And it started way before that. And to be clear, and I want to be clear. I know some of y'all gonna say this. Well, Consciously, if you're pointing out that this genocide started before Kamala Harris, is it fair that you criticize Kamala Harris for the genocide? I was pushing for a ceasefire. I never tried to have all of imperialism or genocide violence be at the realm of this black woman. I acknowledge that she had the ability in running for commander-in-chief, that she had the ability to dictate how the American military moved. And Israel is seen as an asset for the military. Hold on, what you saying? Respectfully, what is the timeliness according to your logic? I would ask that to y'all. Like, and when do y'all think it would be permissible to criticize Kamala Harris? And when do you find it permissible to not conflate being critical of Kamala Harris with demonizing or hating Kamala Harris? When? I wrote a nice piece, a nice article I wrote on Substack about when can you criticize Kamala Harris? We shouldn't criticize Kamala Harris before the election because of Trump. And we shouldn't criticize Kamala Harris after the election because of Trump. Can I be critical of how y'all talk about criticizing Kamala Harris while acknowledging I voted for her, while acknowledging she was extremely better than Donald Trump, while acknowledging that I used my platform to get other people to try to vote for her? Can y'all hold all these things? Can you walk and chew gum at the same time? Can you walk and chew gum at the same time? Can you acknowledge that an individual voted for a person by being critical for that person? Or is all criticisms on always already be reduced down to hate? Even right now, Tabitha's video is funny because everything you're actually accusing me of, and you acknowledging it's bad. You're acknowledging it's bad to push pro-Palestinian. I mean, it's bad to push pro-Israeli speaking points. That's what y'all saying is bad. Y'all also saying it's bad to get paid by Israel. I agree. You should not be spitting pro-Israeli speaking points, and you shouldn't be getting paid by Israel. That is the person that y'all are that's the person y'all are trying to make immune to criticism. I wasn't paid $5 million by Israel. Kamala Harris was. I've never spoken an Israeli speaking point in my life. Kamala Harris was. But y'all so lost in the sauce about partisan politics, y'all find it okay for a person to make lies to me, even though it applies more to the person you defending. Martin Luther King. Not Martin Luther King. That's a lot. Martin Luther King. Take that out. Start the segment over. Malcolm X, Amari Baraka, Huey P. Newton, a whole bunch of James Baldwin. All these individuals are seen as Black thought leaders of the Black radical tradition, and all of them were very intentional about Palestine. Every single one of the people I acknowledge were critical about Palestine. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show y'all a picture of Huey P. Newton in 1984 or the 1980s in Lebanon. And the reason why I'm showing y'all this is because it illustrates how one can walk and chew gum at the same time. While I pull this picture up, I want to give y'all the context. We know that in the 1980s is the height of the crack epidemic of Black people trying to fight for our freedom here in America, and that the American government literally put a whole bunch of crack in our community. See what I'm saying? This is a picture of Huey P. Newton with Palestinian refugees in 1980. Some of y'all will say, Huey P. Newton, we ain't got time for that shit. We got to fight crack epidemic and fight heroin here. That's what y'all say. Huey P. Newton, we got more important shit to focus on because Ronald Reagan, this is during Reagan's presidency, ain't it? Or is it during Jimmy Carter? This is Black Panther Party, the founder of the Black Panther Party, Huey P. Newton. He said, power to the people. And he said, fight globally. No, think globally and act locally. That's what he said. Think globally and act locally. That's what he said. This is a picture of him in 1980s. 1980. I'm gonna put it up. A picture in 19. See, I like when people be like, he don't know what he's talking about. I got a degree in African American studies, and I love to illustrate the knowledge that I got from it. And what people always display is that they are ignorant especially when it comes to international relations. He said, like, wait, let's see. I'm finna almost be done with this. I want to just pull up what Malcolm X said about Congo, because these type of conversations has always been there. And what he told the people of Mississippi, he said, as long as y'all believe that, I'm gonna pull it up right here, man. Pull it up, man. Pull it up. Pull it up. Pull it up, Lee. Pull it up, Lee. Go on. Education is elevation, man. Research over Mesearch. I'll be damned if I let anybody, especially if I think that you are a middle of the road. I wanna be in proximity to whiteness, and I ain't got time. I ain't got that. Leave me. Listen. What it is that I'm too Pan-African and leftist for some of y'all. And as a result, y'all don't know what to do with me. As long as you think we should get Mississippi straightened out before we worry about Congo, you'll never get Mississippi straightened out. Malcolm X said, as long as you think we should get Mississippi straightened out before we worry about the Congo, you'll never get Mississippi straightened out. He said this during his speech in the ballroom in his 1964 speech at New York City. He said, we all have to realize what part our struggle has all over the world. I'm gonna say it, I picked it up. We have to realize what part our struggle has in all over the world struggle. Secondly, we need allies. And as long as you and I think we can get allies from the Bronx or allies, from the Grand Concourse, I mean, when you don't live, you'll never be able to understand what it means to have allies. You thinking small, think big. Thinking small, think big. Hey, when Donald Trump was able to push all this demonization behind, immigrants, but as soon as them white Afrikaners needed some help, all this shit he was talking about immigrants went out the way because he understands he need allies. We didn't let these white folks convince us that we in this shit by ourselves. I can pull up more receipts of people that's been putting their blood, sweat, and tears towards independence of black people, acknowledging that what's happening in Palestine has a direct link to what's happening to them. Nelson Mandela grandson right now was the last person to get released by Palestine. And y'all want to know what Nelson Mandela said about Palestine? Y'all do know that South Africa apartheid, 1948, started the same year of Israel, 1948. We can't do nothing about this, that, and the other. Do y'all know how the South African apartheid was ended? Because y'all swept down, we can't do nothing. It's what happened. I'm going to teach y'all that history lesson. There started to be a lot of pressure towards South Africa and South African companies. American citizens started to boycott South African companies. American officials started being critical of South Africa. As a result, to Americans, uniquely the citizens, talking shit and criticizing the foreign government of South Africa, it encouraged our government to disinvest from South Africa, and it helped bring down the apartheid. When it's Black History Month and y'all start talking about y'all favorite, civil rights leaders, do y'all ever pay attention to what they said about war? Would you chastise Martin Luther King and say, nigga, stop worrying about the Vietnam War. We got more important shit to worry about right now. If Martin Luther King said, well, brother, sister, what's happening in Vietnam is taken away from the economic independence of the black man, the black women, the black people of the black community, would you tell him he a damn fool? Hey, Martin Luther King, we ain't got time for you to be playing no games. We ain't got time for you to be straddling the fence. Shut the fuck up about the Vietnam War and only focus on this. That's what I hear from y'all. That's what y'all was saying. All civil rights leaders, all of y'all making connections between war and economics, shut that shit up. That's what I hear from y'all. Y'all are going to champion and celebrate black leaders that would call y'all a bunch of coons. A lot of y'all celebrated the death of Assata Shakur and then turned around and said that this person shouldn't be criticized. Do y'all know what Assata Shakur said about the Democratic Party? What Assata Shakur said about America? But I'm the one that's pussyfooting. I'm the one that's straddling the fence. I'm the one double dutching. What does it mean to say being paid by Israel is bad, spitting Israeli speaking points is bad? Go after the person that's not saying it and defend the person that actually is being paid by Israel and is speaking Israeli speaking points. That's double dutching. That's double dutching. To Tabitha and CJ and all the rest of y'all in the comment section and all that, let's talk about double dutching. So if you think that I'm being paid by them folks, it's bad, right? Your person that you don't want to be criticized is bad. And then all this shit blow my mind is that this stuff started because I wasn't even a part of the conversation. Y'all started this because some pro-Palestinian protesters, 3 or 4 motherfuckers, went to Kamala Harris's book tour, protested her, and y'all started talking about how ineffective it was for them to do that because it's more important things. I didn't interject into that public dialogue or the public discourse at all. I didn't. It wasn't until people started coming at me and assuming because I was critical of Kamala Harris and I rock up pro-Palestinians that I obviously agree with her. I say it at the beginning of this live stream, I'm gonna say it in the end. I don't give a damn about protesters being at a book tour. I don't give a damn enough to defend the protesters at the book tour. I don't give a damn about y'all saying they shouldn't be protesting at the book tour. On my video, I was talking specifically in my videos for the past weeks has been very critical about how Donald Trump is circumventing the mass deportation agenda to criminalize Black people. As a matter of fact, for the past few weeks, I've been fighting with the federal buffoons of America about how the mass deportation agenda would impact Black people. And y'all know what they said to me in response? I was being paid by the Democrats. That's what they said in response. You're only saying that Black people should be worried about this. And too, they thought my wife was Hispanic. You only care about immigrants because your wife Latino. With the wife thing along my mind, it's like, hey, listen, man, y'all always make these distinctions between biracial people that's raised by a Black mama that got a Black mama. My wife is raised by a Black woman, birthed by a Black woman, but then y'all start having these old weird ass contentions for me because you don't like me, so now you waging war with my wife. In college, I learned about international feminism, and it talked about how patriarchy and how using women's bodies has always been a tool of war, and how since the beginning of time, since the first war was fought, that women's bodies has always been used something to conquer or dominate as a way to exemplify what you can do in war. A lot of y'all engage in the same analysis that the international feminists gave me when it comes to having a disagreement with me. Instead of you beefing with me and coming for me, you want to make up identities for my wife. You feel me? Instead of coming for me and dealing with me and the criticism I have, you want to just willy-nilly bring up my wife. And it's just like, what does my wife have to do with Kamala Harris? Nothing. Especially if you can acknowledge, hey, Kamala Harris biracial. She got a Black daddy and an Indian mama. My wife got a white daddy and a Black mama. What we getting at? What we talking about? It don't make sense to me y'all coming at my biracial wife trying to insulate a criticism from another biracial woman talking about my wife as if she's not Black or not half Black. I ain't gonna fight y'all on that. You feel me? It's weird to me that y'all say a person that's half Black is non-Black, but what I learned is this. That's my wife. Y'all don't sleep with her. Y'all don't make no kids with her. Y'all don't talk to her. I talk to her. That's my wife. A lot of y'all concerned with my wife's identity like she y'all wife. I've never said anything anti-Black. I've never made any colorist statements. I've never said anything disparaging towards Black women to defend my wife and or to try to justify me being my wife. Because you know what? I don't have to justify being my wife nor defend her in that way. I'm still 10 toes down. Don't disrespect Black women around me. No matter how many Black women I see come for me, disrespect me, lie for me, I never let nobody disrespect a Black woman in my presence. That's my politics. And no individual person can make me hate my community. And I think that it's wild that y'all believe, like, let's say, even though it's false, let's say it's true. Let's say it was true. My wife not Black. Y'all think that people should have a transactional relationship with their own community based off who they sleeping with. That's a bad politic. That's a bad politic. That's a bad politic. Y'all believe a person should sell a community out because they going with a non-black person. Whole time, my wife half black. Do y'all play them games with when it comes to Frederick Douglass? His work don't matter because he was half black and he married a white woman? Because I'm looking at it like, how do you measure the utility of a person's work? And then what do you do for the people that do meet the standard? They wife look like the way you want them to, but they don't fight for the black community. As a matter of fact, it blew my mind is this right here. The same people that talk shit about me defending black women to be the first people to have talking shit about my wife, quote unquote, not being black. I think that if y'all was able to put some of the energy towards my wife not being black, towards, I guess, actual black women that you see black, the world would be a better place. You feel me? Me and my wife think that y'all should spend more time on advocating for the safety, for the progression, you feel me, for the accessibility of black women, even if y'all think she not black, especially if you think she not black, that energy is better spent over there. Better spent over there. So at this point, a lot of y'all be mad at me for my advocacy towards trans identities and trans inclusivity and believing that trans women should be left alone. A lot of y'all try to weaponize trans women in women's sports to say these are really men. They ain't really women, they really men, and they shouldn't be putting their hands on a woman. Every individual that has a beef with me talking about trans identities had the most to say when I took up for Roe, who got hit by a bottle, not a brick. And the same people that want to say I'm a fed, I'm a police, y'all sided with the police over this black woman who was hit by a grown-ass man with the bottle. And y'all calling her a liar because she was hit with the bottle and not a brick. Because she said she was hit with a brick and not a bottle. Yeah, but y'all are saying men shouldn't play in women's sports because it's not fair. But then you will fight with me and just argue with me because I said no woman should be hit by a man, especially with an object. Consciously double down. That brick lady came out to be lying, and I stopped fucking with consciously when he doubled down on that. I seen this statement so many times. It was like, so how can you say you stop fucking with me then for my unapologetic defense of this black woman at the same time saying, oh, consciously talk shit about black women. That's the reason why you're talking shit about Kamala Harris, because he don't respect black women. How y'all pick and choose how y'all do that shit? Okay, the second time I got dog piled on. I was blamed for the execution of Marcellus Williams because I didn't answer a DM as quick as the person thought I should. This led to me being dogpiled on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that, because performative content creators never need, I'm talking about in the video, I ain't gonna say nobody's name, but consciously, that was the second time I'm getting dogpiled on. Notice every time it's either something misconstrued or a straight up lie. So I got blamed for the execution of a black man in Missouri because apparently how y'all believe in these videos, if I would have just made 3-4 more videos about Marcellus Williams, them white folks that was in the government of Missouri would let them live. How y'all sound right now? Well, consciously, if you would have made 3 videos or more videos saying that you voting for Kamala Harris and Kamala Harris is good, but that's it, they would have changed the election. Y'all being disingenuous. The same way they was being disingenuous and saying, well, consciously, you never know. If you would have made more videos, then he might be alive. Y'all not being genuine. You're not being real. If y'all think that I have so much power to dictate a race and get people to not vote for Kamala Harris, like how come my house not paid off and I owe these folks all this money, man? I got a cousin doing life in prison because he robbed a bank. Did he rob that motherfucker? Yes. Should he be in jail for life? No. If I had half the money I was claiming I did, I would have got my cousin a parole lawyer a long time ago, an appeals lawyer a long time ago. I'm talking about, I don't know what y'all talking about. If I had half the money y'all claim I had, I wouldn't even be dealing with y'all. He getting paid by them. He getting paid by them. So far in my career, I've heard I'm getting paid by the LGBT community, I'm being paid by MAGA. I'm being paid by Democrats. I'm being paid by Israel and Netanyahu. These is all the things people say for me. Harris did say she would call for a ceasefire. She said it multiple times. However, this is not something she could do until she's president. She could not. Hey, super EMT. I know you just getting into the live stream. I never negated that Kamala Harris called for a ceasefire. I never made that claim. Ever actually. The claim I made is that the Biden administration after the election said that they lied about ever doing it. And it's just like, y'all ain't being real, man. Like y'all inability to be real is showing me more about y'all character than y'all realize. Here it is right here on the screen. I know it's gonna come up again. Here it is on the screen. Consciously said what? The Biden staffers admit what we already know. White House lied about ceasefire efforts. This is not me saying this. I'm not saying this. This is what the staffers are saying. The Biden staffer is saying this. What's your source? Is it an Israeli source? Is a Biden staffer considered an Israeli source? I'm curious. Is a Biden staffer considered an Israeli source? How about the international policy? The Center for International Policy. Is this considered an Israeli source? How about Democracy Now? How about Democracy Now? Is this an Israeli source? Israeli news investigation confirms Biden administration did not try to end genocide. So this is my claim. This is the claim. Yes, publicly, Kamala Harris did call for a ceasefire. That's the reason why I thought that she should be voted for and the reason why I told people to vote for her. This came out after the election. This came out after the election that confirmed that the Biden administration did not try to end Gaza, did not try to end genocide in Gaza. We also see staffers approving and showing this not nothing to do with that. Again, I'm not negating that she called for a pause, because technically it's like, shout out to the person, I can't say what this is, but it's like, think about it. People was calling for an end of the genocide. People was calling for a temporary ceasefire. People was calling for a complete ceasefire. Kamala Harris was calling for a pause, a temporary ceasefire. Morgan. Hold on. I'm curious. How is this one source and I just showed you 4? 2 different ways. One of them saying that the Israeli did their own investigation and show, and then a Biden staffer saying it. This right here, like this right here. I'm gonna do this one more time for you. I can tell your comprehension skills is lacking, but this right here, this is one source. This is 2 sources. This is 3 sources. This is 4 sources. 4 different publications saying this. This one right here is saying that a Biden staffer admitted it. The one that Tabitha tried to say is another source, that's one where an Israeli person is admitting it. So, you know, within this, there was a dialogue that happened. 2 sides was having a dialogue. Both sides are confirming that what they said publicly didn't happen properly. Israel, their officials confirmed that they were never getting a ceasefire, that the Biden administration never asked them one privately, even though publicly they were saying it. Biden's administration, they acknowledge and admit that we were never privately moving for a ceasefire, though publicly we were saying that. What's hard for y'all to get and grasp this? Yes, Kamala Harris publicly said that she was pushing for a ceasefire multiple times. There are also multiple sources, Israeli government, Biden administration, that confirm that it never happened. So, Citizen Morgan, do you have counting issues? Are you not counting one of the sources? Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's really what it is. Like Jason said it. Unfortunately, Kamala was playing politics and the damn strategies was working against her. Jason, they mad at me for pointing that out. And what's crazy about it is Kamala pointed out her book. In her book, she points it out. Agreed. What's understood ain't got to be explained. If it don't apply, let it fly. There are bigger problems out there. I agree. Which blows my mind that the people that's saying there's something more important have all this time to make up lies and lead witch hunts against random people. So while Donald Trump is hunting all our black asses, y'all are sitting on the internet trying to get likes and views and clouts lying. While Donald Trump is deploying National Guard on black people from Chicago all the way to DC, y'all find it more important to insulate a politician that thinks it's more important to run a book tour than help us fight fascism. Like, let's think about this. Y'all telling me there are more important things to focus on while y'all say a person should not be criticized on a book tour. So if Constantly's on a book tour, as a matter of fact, I'm about to come out with a book. And when I come out with my book, I don't want to hear shit from y'all about how it's more things to focus on. Give me the same due diligence you give Kamala Harris. You feel me? Like, that's what we're talking about. To me, it's just so many contradictions in a lot of y'all criticisms. So saying anything critical of Kamala Harris, these the people not voting for Kamala Harris, but telling people straight up not to vote for Donald Trump don't do nothing. Listen to the logic of y'all. Being paid by Israel and pushing pro-Israeli speaking points is bad, but I'm going to defend the person that's actually being paid by them, actually pushing speaking points. It don't make no sense. Y'all, private citizens cannot be criticized. Y'all are wasting y'all time with Kamala Harris. She's a private citizen now. I've been a private citizen. I ain't never ran for office. I ain't never held an office. Do I think Jill Stein should be criticized? Yes. But am I going to be real with y'all and acknowledge Jill Stein being a private citizen ain't never stopped y'all from criticizing her? Charlie Kirk, private citizen. We criticize him. Candace Owens, private citizen. We criticize her. Even right now. So J.D. Vance should not be criticized because he's only the vice president and he has no power. So J.D. Vance should be able to benefit from Trump's presidency, but he shouldn't be able to be criticized from it. I'm asking like genuine questions. Genuine questions. So when Mike Pence went to the Alexander Hamilton, let's say Mike Pence goes to an Alexander Hamilton play tomorrow. If he gets protested at the Alexander Hamilton play, are y'all gonna say y'all wasting y'all time? Mike Pence is a private citizen. Y'all should leave him alone. Hey, I'm not saying she was president. I'm not saying she was president. Do not give me with the straw man argumentation. You're making arguments to points that I never made. I never said she was president. As a matter of fact, right now, I'm exemplifying Mike Pence was a vice president. That's the reason why I'm talking about Mike Pence. J.D. Vance is vice president. That's the reason why I'm talking about J.D. Vance. My question to you, so Sushita and everybody think like you. Do you think J.D. Vance is immune from criticism because he is not the president? Under y'all model of politics, J.D. Vance has no power. Therefore, we should not be talking about him. We should only talk about Donald Trump. That's what y'all going. That's what y'all telling me. Y'all are telling me that when George Bush was in office and Dick Cheney, the war criminal, you know what I'm saying, vice president, that you should have no criticisms towards Dick Cheney because George Bush is the president. I criticize Barack Obama too. Like, politicians are public servants. They're not your surrogate auntie. They're not cousins. Y'all be treating them like celebrities too much. They public servants. They get paid millions. They get donated millions of dollars to run a campaign to try to convince us to vote for them, not the other way around. The reason why politicians have campaigns is because they're trying to earn people's support. Y'all was mad at people during the election for saying, I want you to earn my support. Even so much that y'all willing to lie and be extreme with the lie. There is no excuse for supporting or enabling Israel. I agree. You know who supported and enabled Israel? Not me. It's the person y'all feel like should never be criticized. What gets me is people going, where is Kamala? Where's Kamala? When most voted against her and now have to deal with even like, y'all are chastising everybody but the white people. This is my last thing I'm going to bring up right here, man. Because y'all just like, let's bring up the exit polls. Like, people, this, that, and the other, this, that, and the other. It's like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? These is the exit polls. Get out y'all feelings real fast. Get out your feelings real fast. Get out your feelings real fast. 71% right here. 71% of the people that voted was white. 71%. 71. 57% of them voted for Donald Trump. That's what determined the election. 57% of white people voted for Donald Trump. Your anger and your energy is misdirected. 86% of black people voted for Kamala Harris, but only 11% of people that voted. Right here. Asian, Latino, and black voters made up 25% of the people that voted. 11, 22. Yeah, 25%. 71. If all black people, Latino people, and Asian people voted against, you know what I'm saying, voted Kamala Harris, it still would have probably led to Donald Trump winning. So when y'all say that I led to voter apathy, or y'all say I was a determining factor, y'all is smoking cat piss. If you believe that these white folks follow niggas like me and they made an informed decision from following niggas like me, y'all being disingenuous. Y'all should go read that book. Y'all should go read that book. Kamala Harris said that she wished she wouldn't have extended some of those unpopular positions from Donald Trump. Most folks didn't vote. Why didn't they vote, Morgan? I told them to vote, Morgan. Why didn't they vote, Morgan? Do you want to put that on me too as well, Morgan? Y'all full of shit they flushed down on toilets, man. Most folks didn't vote. So now is it that most folks didn't vote or they voted third party? Y'all switching the goal line. Switching the goal line. Switching the goal line. So is it the Democratic Party fault they didn't vote, or it's constantly fault they didn't vote? Is it the way the campaign went why they didn't vote, or it's because of TikTok video I made they didn't vote? Y'all not being real. Y'all not being real. You're not being real at all. Not being real, man. Just this right here. Men. 55% of them voted for Trump. 53% of people that voted was women. Only 50% voted for Kamala Harris. 45%, you know what I'm saying, voted for Trump. Y'all had smoke with them. I got smoke with everybody supposed to have smoke with. Just y'all, you know what I mean? It's been real. What I say is that it's gonna be a lot of people in mind already made up. Fuck consciously. He told people not to vote. He demonized Kamala Harris. He paid by MAGA. He paid by Israel and Netanyahu. Y'all mind made up. I accept that. The purpose in doing this video is that I understand how the SEO works, and that when you type in consciously third party, all y'all lies gonna pop up. I'm hoping that the algorithm and the SEO will do me some favor and make it where when they follow y'all lies, at least me being able to try to defend myself come up.
Spontaneous percussion.